your dream to reality, yeah. All together now. Wake up and live, yeah.
We can make a change. We can make a change. Come together. Whoa, yeah. If we don't change up the valleys and rearrange the system, we're always gonna be, the victim. If we don't change up the valleys and rearrange the system, we're always gonna be, the victim. My heavens declare Rastafari glory. Haile Selassie manifests his life. Well, now I shall tell of my story, 'cause this story has been lies, yeah, contradicting themselves in every illustration, and they make believe in a world of confusion. Now I just see that they are not real, 'cause the truths have been revealed. And if we don't change up the valleys and rearrange the system, we're always gonna be, the victim. If we don't change up the valleys and rearrange the system, well, we're always gonna be, the victim. Got to make a change. Whoa, make a change. Whoa, treating our people like they are garbage, and through loss of vanity, we never seem to acknowledge to the weak and the feeble. You took advantage to give yourself that tolerance, because you think we're on the privilege. Now it's time for us to reinforce ourselves. Who's gonna do it for us? None but ourselves. If we don't change up the valleys and rearrange the system, we're always gonna be, the victim. If we don't change up the valleys and rearrange the system, well, we're always gonna be, the victim. If we don't change up the valleys and rearrange the system, we're always gonna be, the victim. My heavens declare Rastafari glory. Haile Selassie manifests his life. Now I shall tell of my story, 'cause his story has been lies. So if we don't change up the valleys and rearrange the system, we're always gonna be, the victim. If we don't change up the valleys and rearrange the system, we're always gonna be, the victim. If we don't change up the valleys and rearrange the system.
Just like soldiers, many are called, few are chosen. Many are called, few are chosen. Ooh, yeah. Ooh, yeah. Gotta fight the right fight in this time. Love each other. Say you gotta live on forever. Yeah. And love one another. Boy, gotta fight the right fight in this time. Whoa, boy. Living and loving and sharing and caring for your people. Oh, yeah. A man is made according to his work. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Say we gotta live on forever. Love each other. We gotta live on forever. And love one another. Oh, yeah. Living and loving and sharing and caring. Oh, yeah. Well,
Good morning to the Morning Connection. This is your host, Percival, Pastor Percival Palmer, welcoming you to the Morning Connection this morning. It is our privilege serving you in the early hours of the morning as you're on your way to work, in the bus, in the car, at home as you're just waking up and going about your business. Good morning to all our young people who are now on holidays. We welcome you this morning to the Morning Connection, and trust as we go through the hours from 6 to 10, you will be encouraged, you will be enlightened, you will be inspired. We'll receive a revelation for your life, for your family, for this nation. This morning, as we begin our program, there's so many things that come at you in so many ways, and it causes you to wonder, where is my sense of purpose? Where is God in all of this? But indeed, He has given to us instruction. And this morning, we're going to be joined online with, I dubbed him yesterday, my country pastor, a man with a whole lot of wisdom and with a whole lot of experience, as Pastor Michael Aiken. Yesterday we had Bishop Wayne Anthony Smith, who prayed for the nation, a pastor who is still here, but he operates out of the diaspora, out of Stone Mountain in Atlanta, Georgia. I leave you this, and we're going to look at it this morning as we look at the issues in our nation. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee, that thou shall be no priest to me. Seeing thou hast forgotten the law of God, I will also forget thy children. It's now 6:30 as we take our first break of the morning. And guess what is today? Today is the birthday of my friend and co-host and a beautiful African lady, a queen to her husband. That's Minett Lawrence. Happy birthday, happy birthday. I'll sing for you when we come back. But when you come back, let's explore the issues related to lack of knowledge, and then the outcomes that result because you have sought not to improve your knowledge of God. When we come back, it's your host, Percival Palmer.
We're just a click away. www.bestfm.com. Streaming live on the internet.
Half a tree, one and drive, half a tree. Bossy, how you do I take taxi star?
Jano, I want to tell you, say, 2 months now, my transmission mash up, and me check everybody and can't hear nothing positive.
You hear me? You waste all that time I shop around and never call the experts. Winters Auto have them. Them have over 35 years of experience, and them diagnose the problem and get back your transmission brand new. For them service excellent and efficient. Trust me, man. You hear me? Call them at 929-7040 or go to them at 106 Maxfield Avenue, Kingston 13 and talk directly to the boss. Just tell them I'm me, send you.
Wow, you big star. Yeah, man, respect my boss.
Yeah, try calling, cause trust me.
Waiters Auto Spares and Repairs, good afternoon.
Ah, what a relief.
Veteran Printers for all your printing needs. We specialize in calendars, flyers, brochures, and more. Call us today at 968-7506. That's 968-7506. Or visit us at 4 East Bloomsbury Road, off Haggard Park Road. Veteran Printers, your best choice in printing.
Goodness mercy, it's me again, Lord, your restorer, your game changer. Join me every Saturday morning at 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. and Best FM 100. It's Apostle Clive Campbell, aka the Khaki Suit Man, Coming to you from 8 to 12 Orange Street, also Richmond District, Mandeville. Embrace the change.
Greetings. I go by the name of Miss Waste. Catch me on Bess 100. I will be discovering the greatness of Jamaica and Jamaicans through people, places and things, home and abroad. Playing you some good music along with interviewing artists, soundmen, producers and Jamaicans making a difference all over the world. So catch me between the hours of 10 a.m. till 2 p.m. Monday to Thursday on Bess 100 FM. One love.
I saw you stepping from across the street, smiling happily with everyone you meet.
Bess 100 FM presents the Mature and Moving Up Show with Lascelles Butch Chen on Thursdays from 6 to 9 p.m. Welcome to this pioneering radio program on our continuing worth in our maturing years, compellingly defined to educate and liberate the younger generation. Tune in and welcome.
Live, camera, volume. Live it up Fridays on Bess 100 FM, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. with I, Ibi Lion, each and every Friday, giving you the better vibes heard everywhere.
Bess 100 FM is the authentic voice of Jamaica, promoting your prosperity with better vibes and better music. Let us promote your goods and services for you. Advertise with us. For more information, call our office at 876-276-8935. That's 276-8935.
The Morning Connection is not your usual talk show. We aim to stimulate discussion and chart new paths to self-empowerment. So please join us, Minett and Percy, on The Morning Connection, Mondays to Thursdays, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Bess 100 FM.
It's good, it's better, but nothing beats.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome back to The Morning Connection. But something that I have to do before I begin, I mentioned to you today that today is the birthday of my co-host, Minett Lawrence. And so you'll say, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to Minett Lawrence, who is on vacation far away from us. But I wish you the best, my sister, because we're both named Palmer, but more importantly, my sister-in-law. Good morning, Brother Michael. How are you today?
Good morning, my brother. I am well, thank God for that. And it's Lady Minett's birthday?
Yes, today is her birthday.
Okay, she looks like about 35, about 32. Is that it? Okay.
We will see. We will see what happens.
She's growing up quickly, isn't she? Growing up quickly.
Yes. She's growing up. I wanted to leave my friend alone, you know. But
you need to leave the whole station in a proper birthday song, man. I mean, get the engineer play Stevie Wonder's Happy Birthday.
Happy birthday, if you can find it, just to introduce that for her. But you know, but it's so very good that we can celebrate
life, passing of years.
Yes.
Give God thanks for that.
So,
yep. So, what's on your front burner this morning, my brother?
Well, I woke up, my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge.
Oh, goodness.
Because you have rejected knowledge, I'll also reject you from being my priest. Since you have forgotten the law of God, I'll also forget your children. How important is knowledge?
Father, forgive us.
Yes. Father, forgive us.
That was written thousands of years ago, but it sounds so relevant for now, doesn't it?
Yes, it is, and it has serious implications, because if knowledge is there and you reject it, what happens to you, Pastor Mike, is that it affects not only you, but it affects your children.
Yeah.
So it's a generational thing. How would you define knowledge, my friend? How would you define knowledge? Is it?
Well, a simplistic definition of knowledge could be the accumulation of information, important and relevant information. Knowledge doesn't necessarily speak to the application of that accumulation of information, because you can accumulate information and not act on it. Sometimes people mix up knowledge and wisdom. That's why I'm making that separation early. I do believe, based on what I see in the whole counsel of God's word, that if you set your mind to accumulate important, relevant information, then you begin to accumulate knowledge. And that's an important first step. It's important for that to happen before wisdom comes in view, because it's based on a foundation of good knowledge and good application that we can look at someone like yourself, Minett, and say you're wise. So we invite every listener, I know you would, to accumulate knowledge, especially the knowledge that, first of all, is found in the Word of God. Man, Pastor P, and I hope a listener doesn't think that, it's because they are pastors why they're encouraging us like this. But no, man, you see Proverbs? If you take the time to, or when I was studying psychology, I decided to read a chapter of Proverbs every day, because there are 31 chapters, so it fits the average month. That gave me knowledge to go to class with. And then, of course, I had to apply. I had to, in engaging my professor. Because, for example, I studied psychology at a time when psychologists were saying that you must express your anger. You don't keep it inside. Data has shown that it will destroy you, and all kind of stuff like that. And then I read a verse in Proverbs that says, a man who can control his anger is like 10 men who can take a city. I'll never forget going to class and putting that in front of the professor and saying, come on. Oh, that's religion, Mike. I said, no. I said, this is thousands of years of people acquiring knowledge over millennia. So could we now compare that to the data you have from about 10 American psychologists? I mean, don't you think that pales in comparison to a man who was known as the wisest king in the world, having somehow collected data from many persons and putting that on the table saying, look, control yourself. Don't just express your anger. It shows strength to be able to control your anger. That caused a big argument in class. I'll tell you that long story simply because I have found that what we know as the Bible, that collection of books, that I believe is a life skills manual, because it represents so many who have this canon that can help us understand life a little better. And we keep discarding it, thinking, oh, that's not just the Bible, a religious book. Pastor Percival or Michael like it because it's religious. No, man, it's a life skills manual that helps us understand how to engage in life. And I think that's one of the first places to acquire knowledge. Then, of course, there's a lot of books written by persons all over the years that can be engaged to. I mean, economically, one of my watershed books was the book called The Elusive Quest for Growth by William Easterly. It's a book that speaks to economies like ours that simply keep growing on paper and not going no further than that. And boast about the fact that we look strong economically on paper and our people are suffering. You know?
So Mike, somebody once said that knowledge is power. I think it was Francis Bacon who said it. Knowledge is power, and he used that in terms of.
I disagree with him, you know.
It just I tell you.
Just I tell you that right now.
You disagree with him on what basis?
Yeah, man. I think knowledge provides the foundation for power.
But if you have the knowledge in an organization and you withhold it, and it prevents the organization from moving forward, isn't that power?
Well, yeah, I guess negatively. Yeah.
You know, because knowledge is what gives you the information that you can cast a vision for where you need to go. Isn't that true?
Yes, that's true.
So therefore, Hosea 4:6 says, for lack of knowledge, what happens? The people do what? And perish.
Perish, yeah.
So he says that, and he was talking that, and that was said in Hosea. Remember who Hosea was? A prophet who was told to go and marry a prostitute. Because God was giving him, object lessons in terms of how God was relating to his people, and how they constantly continue to
have knowledge is not ignorance. It's the illusion of knowledge.
That is your quotation, or who you borrowed it?
No, I think it's Stephen Hawking. You know, remember Stephen Hawking? That
the 80s.
Yeah. In other words, when you think you know but you don't know, I don't know if he was speaking to himself. But for real, Pastor P. A dangerous person, you know, is somebody who thinks them know and them don't know, you know.
But somebody
really don't know.
But that reminds me of a quote. I'm trying to remember. He that is a fool and think that he knows something. You know that quotation?
Yes, man. Yes, that's a powerful one, yeah, man. And something about knows not that he knows not.
Teach him. He who knows that he knows not. He who thinks he
I remember. I remember.
Knows.
Yeah, man. He who knows not and knows not that he knows not is a fool. Shun him. I think that's it.
So it goes. He who knows and knows he knows is wise. Follow him. He who knows not and knows not he knows not is a fool. Shun him.
Yeah, that's stuff. Yeah, for real, man.
Oh my Lord. So knowledge is important for all. Okay.
The acquisition is important. And again, forgive me for making a wider application, because one of my concerns when I look at our national leadership landscape, and I put it like that because I want to include political leaders and pastoral leaders. Quite often, you know, we lead a constituency, a community, a nation, or cycle after cycle. And when you check, they have done nothing to try to accumulate more positive knowledge over time, so that knowledge can be the foundation for their wise application, wise decision making. And sometimes I wonder if we shouldn't try to make it mandatory that once Pastor Percy and Pastor Michael become MP or become pastoral leader, there should be mandated times of refreshing. Now, I know some of us do that personally. I mean, somebody walked into my office, of course, and they were in shock at the amount of books. And I say, yeah, man, you have to read books to acquire knowledge. And you have to, because you have to give yourself a strong foundation that can cooperate with God in the application of wisdom.
Mm-hmm.
You know? And in a wide variety of books, from books that embrace theology and look at what God is saying about us, to books that, of course, I have to read to keep up on developments, particularly in psychology, you know, and books that have to do with politics and engagement. And these a fellow pastor and said, Mike, why? I mean, you know, go Bible school and just read Bible, man. That's what I agree with, you know, but come on, keep your mind open. I think some of us are afraid of knowledge, especially those of us who embrace religion and politics. We're afraid of knowledge and we're afraid of data. We're afraid, I don't know why, but I suspect, based on my interaction with good leaders, that we're afraid of knowledge, especially if it somehow seems to combat what we may believe at the time.
Also, we are afraid of embracing the new knowledge that is emerging because it will make us look bad or make us look like a fool. Or
I don't know the motive behind the fear, but I have sense that some of us are afraid of knowledge, you know, because somehow, now, by the way, knowledge is not necessary an antagonist of belief, you know.
No, it's not. It strengthens and so on. So
yeah, give you an example quick. I had an uncle call me when that book and movie came out, The Da Vinci Code. And he called me urgently. I must come to his home now. He has something important to discuss. I turned up at my uncle's home. He sat me down in the living room. He said, Michael, have you read the Da Vinci Code? I said, I can't say I've read it, sir. I have gone through, I've perused it. Right? And the movie, I know about the movie. So, how is that going to change your thinking and your belief? I said, why should it change my belief? He says, well, it's now an established fact that Jesus Christ had a girlfriend. I said, okay, I won't even argue it, but let's say that is so. So the Da Vinci Code has now established the knowledge that Jesus has a girlfriend. Why should I change my belief? Then how can you believe in Jesus as God anymore if you had a girlfriend? I said, sir, but the Bible alluded to that because it said that he was tempted in all points, like we are. Yes, I say not a problem because if he had a girlfriend, it would be without sin.
And that just blew him out of the water.
Yeah, man. That's. Yeah, by the way, he eventually became a believer a few weeks later.
Okay.
Yeah, man. Start with the Maranatha.
But Mike, I don't want us to lose where we are. That lack of knowledge. Because knowledge helps you to build a vision.
Yeah.
But knowledge also helps you to increase your faith.
It should.
It should, because people think
but remember now, in the case I just gave you, here was a man now willing to become a serious doubter because he think he had knowledge that proved that somehow the whole issue of Jesus is no problem. You know, but because his belief system was not as yet strongly in place. So the point I was making is that knowledge does not need to combat belief, because there are aspects of belief that are an embrace of faith. You know, but that doesn't mean that you fear accumulating knowledge. You should always try to accumulate it and then attempt to work out any conflict that you may see. For me, it was easy to work out the conflict that the knowledge that he gained that the Lord Jesus Christ had a girlfriend historically, that caused conflict in him. But for me, because there was deeper knowledge based on the scripture, it was an easy workout. That's not a problem. So again, the reason why I'm pressing us here is because the accumulation of knowledge can't just be looked at like a computer accumulates data.
It cannot be accumulation of knowledge for knowledge's sake. And there are a lot of people like that who, they become puffed up in the knowledge because the knowledge can lead to their destruction and they don't even know it. Because even in Romans 1, and that's a favorite scripture in terms of what's happening like with the AI, we have to do a discussion on AI at some point in time and the implications for us. But that's for another day. That it says that the knowledge of God was out there, but we refused it. And so therefore the Father says, okay, I've expressed myself in nature, in the acts and the different things, but yet you have rejected it. So your conscience has become seared, and so he leaves you up to the follies of your own mind. What do you think?
That's an incredible writing in a man. That is an incredible narrative. You can imagine that the creator of heaven and earth and the creator of us all, some of us make him get to the point where we say, you know what, let me leave Michael and let me leave Percy alone, because
it's there clearly.
God forgive us, you know, man.
Clearly, it's there, clear out there, and yet we seek to reject it, and it is there. So you can have the knowledge, but it can destroy you. It can lead you down a path. So the important thing is to accumulate knowledge that makes you a better person. The quote, well, look, he who knows not and knows not, he knows not is a fool, shun him. He who knows not and knows he knows not is simple. Teach him. He who knows and knows not he knows is asleep, awaken him. He who knows and knows he knows is wise, follow him.
Oh, that's the entirety of that quote. Thank you for that knowledge, sir.
So let's as boy, time has run. Mike, how important is our education system to us as a nation? You alluded to it earlier this week in terms of how we change and how we change culture is the things we do early in terms of how we educate our children. It spoke about early childhood because it's not knowledge for knowledge's sake, it's knowledge for transformation. Isn't that what it is about? It's knowledge
of course. That should be the planned outcome for the accumulation of knowledge. But this is a discussion I don't know if you want to get me involved, because you more than likely are aware that education, especially in terms of training, is part of what I engaged in my time abroad. And I am totally aghast at what we continue to embrace down here as a system of education, to the point where I have to keep fighting myself from thinking of my country's leaders who I must pray for, of thinking of them as stupid and ignorant. Because here's the thing, Pastor P. We embraced a system of education in 1962 that was developed by some people who looked at us as less than them. Now, I'm sure you know. And
Say that again.
Say that again.
So we embraced...
In 1962, when we took on self-governance,
yes,
we had to also take on an education system that was designed not by us, but by some people who thought that we were much less than they were. We were less than the human beings that they were. Now, anybody listening knows that if you design anything based on that kind of foundational knowledge and motive, it's not going to be designed for the best interest of the person. So in other words, we embraced an education system that was not in our best interest. It was in the interest of a people who consider themselves regal, consider themselves kings and queens and we were simply chattel. We were just nothing to them. Now, one would think that if I gave Percy a system like that, he would immediately begin to reform it for his best interest. Sadly, even though we have embarked on education reform in various seasons of our development, it really hasn't been to the point.
It's window dressing. It has not. It has not.
Yes. And I'm trying to be careful as I speak because I don't want to lambast and criticize and destroy people. But the education system is stupid. And it don't reflect the bright minds that came to the table. And it still doesn't. And we keep sidelining some people. I can call some names of some good Jamaicans who, had they been given a chance to contribute to the development of the system, we would be way ahead. Because here's the thing. There are some good things, so let me make sure I'm balanced. There are some good things about the system in terms of how it presses us to gain knowledge. But it keeps us in a particular aspect of development because it was designed to ensure that we don't overthrow, we don't go around, we don't try to take over.
All right, hold it. But hold that thought. That's a powerful thought.
I didn't have knowledge of the
signal. I know, but when we come back from our 7 o'clock break, which is about a 10-minute, we're gonna continue to talk about education because I'm beginning a series today in terms of speaking about education, but how does it impact the vision that we have for ourselves without...
drastically so.
Yes, my brother. So when we come back from our 7 o'clock break, we're going to break, and when we come back, stay tuned. It is now 7:01 on the Morning Connection on Thursday. And the good news is you're going to be able to call in today. We're not at the Ligani Club.
You're simply the best. Better than all the rest. Better than anyone. Anyone I ever met. You're simply the best.
Best FM 100 on your dial. Keep listening.
On this week's House Matters, increase in full house benefits for government pensioners. Members of Parliament allotted funds to boost the Know Your Numbers campaign, and debate on Child Care and Protection Act suspended. I'm Jada Francis. Stay tuned. Minister of Finance and the Public Service Dr. Nigel Clark announced in Parliament on Tuesday that effective September 1, 2023, the full house medical benefits provided under the Government Pensioners Administrative Services Only JAPASO Health Scheme will be increased by 70%. The insurance scheme provides a range of benefits for retired central and local government employees, teachers, members of the Jamaica Constabulary Force JCF, United District Constables, nurses and retirees of some statutory bodies, their spouses and dependent children under 19, as well as those children who are physically challenged.
Our JAPASO pensioners will benefit from a 40% increase in the full house benefit for individual subscribers from 20,000 to 28,000, and an increase of 30% for family subscribers from 42,000 to 52,000. Importantly, members of the Government Pensioners Administrative Services Only Health Scheme will have access to these increases in benefits without any increase in their monthly subscription.
The Comprehensive Health Insurance Scheme is operated through the Ministry of Finance and the Public Service and is currently administered by Sagicor Life Jamaica Limited. Dr. Clark also piloted the Public Procurement Registration and Classification of Suppliers Amendment Regulations 2023. The amendments allow for an increase in registration costs to coincide with the rise in maximum registration period from 18 months to 3 years in compliance with Regulation 9 of the Principal Regulations.
3 years is a good thing, but the only challenge is that there will be loss of revenue to the commission because the commission is only paid when the registration happens. If you move from a cycle of 18 months to a cycle of 3 years than the Commission's income would have. We don't propose any nominal increase in the fee, but what we need to do is ensure that the Commission is not out of pocket. That is what this that we are tabling here today and debating here today is designed to do.
Minister of Finance and the Public Service Dr. Nigel Clark speaking in the House of Representatives on Tuesday. Minister of Health and Wellness Dr. Christopher Tufton has announced an allocation of $3 million to all 63 members of Parliament to assist in the island-wide rollout and implementation of the Know Your Numbers campaign summer program. Dr. Tufton shared that $1 million should be used to host 2 health fairs in the constituencies in conjunction with the regional health authorities and the National Health Fund. The remaining $2 million is to be spent in an effort to restore the integrity of community health centers alongside regional health authorities based on a needs assessment.
Once persons are encouraged, then we will take additional necessary steps to provide counseling and support to these persons. If they are in good stead, encouragement to remain that way. And if they are not, to provide support through the health system, starting with the health centers in the community, but if necessary, elevate to the secondary health system, the hospital care, to allow persons the opportunity to correct any challenges that they face.
The 4 critical tests to be undertaken at the health fairs include blood pressure, body mass index, cholesterol, and blood sugar checks. And finally, the debate to repeal Section 24 of the Child Care and Protection Act was suspended when mentioned in the House of Representatives on Tuesday. However, preceding the suspension, some members voiced their support for the repeal of the section.
One of the good things about this amendment is that there is commonality within the House, that children who have not been charged with a crime should not end up in a penal institution.
I stand today in support for the repeal of Section 24 of the Child Care and Protection Act. When we lock away our children for non-violent crimes because they're not capable of handling their trauma, and we continue this cycle by not treating them with the proper therapy and the proper care.
State Minister in the Ministry of National Security, Juliet Cuthbert-Flynn, and before her, Minister with our portfolio with responsibility for information, Robert Morgan. The debate will reconvene in the House next Tuesday, July 11. That's it for this week's House Matters. Join us again next time for more on what's happening in the Houses of Parliament. I'm Jada Francis. Take care.
A production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.
We're just a click away. www.bestfm.com. Streaming live on the internet.
Ew! Baby, you sick? Drink this.
Strong back tonic wine. But baby, you look like you want to sort out.
You think that's all Trangback good for? This delicious tonic wine has natural ingredients like Busy, Medina, Moringa, and more to strengthen your body so you can fight off anything, including viruses, where it sound like you catch. Available island-wide, all foreign. Order at 749-1286 option 1 or IG Trangback TW. Trangback.
Straighten your back for me. Yeah.
Ready for the warfare. Oh, yeah. Ready for the warfare. Yes, Jamaica and the world. You want us back? We are back. The Breakthrough Deliverance Ministry, led by me, the Prophet Mark Stewart, right here on Best 100 FM. This and every Thursday night from 9 p.m. to 12 midnight. Yes, it's War Room Thursday. Come on out and join us, each and every one, on Best 100 FM, 100.1, 357 and 9. Come on out. Join me, the Prophet, Reverend Mark Stewart, and of course, the boss shot, Apostle Marshall. Come for your healing, breakthrough deliverance, the prayer, the miracle, the word, the testimony, and so much more. Yes, my friends, Best 100 FM, Best 100 FM, War Room Thursday, 9 p.m. to 12 midnight. Join us. We are going to lick it till it busts.
Ready for the warfare. Ready for the warfare.
Live, camera, volume. Live it up Fridays on Bess 100 FM. 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. with I, Ibi Lion, each and every Friday. Giving you the better vibes, heard everywhere.
Best 100 FM is the authentic voice of Jamaica, promoting your prosperity with better vibes and better music. Let us promote your goods and services for you. Advertise with us. For more information, call our office at 876-276-8935. That's 276-8935.
The Morning Connection is not your usual talk show. We aim to stimulate discussion and chart new paths to self-empowerment. So please join us, Minett and Percy, on The Morning Connection, Mondays to Thursdays, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Best 100 FM.
It's good, it's better, but nothing beats.
Knowledge, my brother. Knowledge helps you to form a vision for the future. Knowledge is institutional. You know, they talk some about institutional knowledge. But Mike, you are on a very important point, even as we now begin to go in terms of what is happening. This knowledge thing is an important thing, you know. You hearing me, Mike? Mike? Hello? Mike, you hearing me? Yeah, this thing that he was referring to in regards to what is our philosophy of education, he made a very important point that when we took over from the colonizers in 1962, we just continued with the educational system. Remember, we had this grammar school which was out of England, and then you had the all age and the basic, and you couldn't really get into high school, grammar school, traditional schools they are called now. It was a creaming off process, basically. So the best go to the traditional high schools. Then there was the introduction of the technical high schools. We still continue to have, even up until recently, where you had primary and all age. The government over the years has deliberately moved to phase out the all age component of the primary school, so you only have primary school. But we still have some in the system, and then you had the junior high. So without a clear philosophy of education and what we're doing, we're going to have a problem. Mike, you're back? Yeah, I'm hearing him. This thing.
Hello, very low, not hearing.
Yeah, but very low, not hearing. Yes, I'm hearing you. You can speak. Go ahead and speak. So we're continuing this whole.
Not speak. Yes, not hear you well at all. Just barely hear mumbling in the background.
Oh, we're hearing you now. We're hearing you better. You hearing us better now?
No, not better. Not better. I did hear better now.
Okay.
It's not better now.
Okay. Well, go ahead and speak. You know what
you asked me a question.
Yeah, about education. We're making a point in regards to.
All right, not hearing.
You were making a point.
Not hearing.
In regards to.
Can the engineer?
All right.
That improves the line because I'm not hearing.
We're hearing you. So the whole thing of education. We're gonna try back Mike online, but this education, this lack of knowledge, which causes us to perish, we see it being played out in our national life now. I was just listening to other stations and scanning the news, and one of the lack of knowledge and the lack of application of the knowledge we have in terms of fixing a perennial problem is what's happening in transportation. Because those of us remember what we've been through, those of us old enough to remember JOS, and then from JOS we moved to the franchise system. Then from the franchise system we moved to JUTC, and that was a wonderful idea. It was something that we could have been proud of. But I hear Mr. Vaz talking about, we're getting 50 buses, but listening to Mr. Abrams yesterday on another station, he says in order to deal with what is happening, they need about 200 buses. And I'm just reflecting on this lack of knowledge and how it has impacted us as a country in terms of so many areas. You're hearing us, Mike?
Hearing clearly now.
Right. And I'm just saying, so you were making a very important point in terms of our education system and what has happened or what did not happen when we got independence. So go ahead, make that point, but I'm saying I'm making the connections in terms of how lack of knowledge affects vision, affects implementation, and we keep going around the mountain because we have not, with the data and the information we have, set a clear path for national development and what it really means.
I would agree with you there, for real.
Yeah.
Yes, but I was taking us back to the fact that because the system wasn't originally designed for our best interest, and because we have continued to embrace aspects of that system, despite the fact that we have knowledge that it's not for our best interest, and we now have new information that should give us all we need to mold the system to suit us. We haven't done that, so we're behind the 8 ball. But I also did posit past the person at the same time. We can't deny that there are some strengths in the system that was designed not for our best interest, but it worked out that way anyway. And the discussion has to, and I'm sure it has in some forums, because there have been so many education reform reports and
two major ones, Ray Davis and two major ones, Ray Davis 1993, 1990s, and recently Orlando Patterson, which when you look at the reports, they're saying the same thing. A few changes, but yeah.
Yeah, but that introduces the fact that because you have knowledge, if you apply the thing, because government has gotten many recommendations, because some of these persons have done due diligence and these committees. But again, because our system keeps embracing that old way of doing stuff that we have learned from the British, we just ignore and we're not about to implement, and we of course allow politics to determine what course we take because election might be in view. And we have so many reasons why we don't do what is in our best interest. And that to me is an absolute shame in this time. I totally forgive those persons of old who are not from this country, who enslaved us, and who charted a course that suited themselves to our demise. I forgive them for that, because I can see the reason why they have treated me the way they treat me. Speaking of my ancestors, after that, because they were trying to build a nation, they were trying to build an empire, and they needed to build it on our backs.
As chattel slavery.
So we have a nation to build.
Yes.
And instead of charting a course that empowers our people and we build an empire, no, we just embrace the same tear-down systems and destructive systems. And we are not idiots, Pastor Percy. I could never look at the Prime Minister or the leader of opposition and call them stupid and idiots. But why? Sometimes them do some things are stupid.
Yeah, but is that why there's an increasing call for a lot of people call this program to do away with PMP and JLP and come up with something new? But the question is, what is the new that we come up with? Is there...
And you're throwing us back to what I said to you 2 days ago. if our culture doesn't change. Changing the people won't change anything.
So what in your mind?
We have to embrace a different culture. I was just saying that to Kanye Thompson the other day. You're pressing for transformation in certain aspects without pressing for a cultural transformation. Just changing the faces and changing the color of the representatives in terms of their their standard bearing flag won't change anything in this country. And let me say this carefully. Even if it's a lovely religious man like you we put in place, we still are embracing anarchism as somehow a good thing. Tricking Pastor Percy is much more important than achieving purpose with him. And we laugh and clink wine glasses or touch Bibles together. When I trick you, good people who know Christ laugh and go on like we do something good. And then we only are concerned when the sin becomes just too much for us to stomach. But we have got to reject the culture of anarchism, reject dishonesty, reject injustice. These are things we hold dear. We need to understand the difference between alliance and allegiance. Because I'm allied to the PNP or JLP doesn't mean I should hold allegiance there. My allegiance should be to Jamaica.
So you're talking about...
So, some of the things, again, Pastor, I please forgive me. It's not that I've given up hope. But I see us doing the same thing year after year and just changing people, thinking that we're going to see true transformation. We have got to embrace a whole new set of values.
What are those values, man?
That has got to... The church has to play a great role in that, you know. And it has to start with education. Well, that's one of the places it has to start. We have to transform the mindset of the new crew coming up. So that in 10 years, life is a vacuum in a Pastor P. At some point, you are going to have to step out of that seat that you're sitting at Bess FM. And whether you like it or not, it's going to be filled by someone. The question is, will that someone be prepared with the kind of knowledge you have, the mindset you have, the love for God, self, and neighbor that you have? At the current rate, we're going more than likely not.
Because you say that because the culture will spit out the culture will spit out the same. So you're calling for, you say the way forward is for a fundamental shift,
revolutionary shift in values.
In our values. And I was going to ask you, what are those values that you speak to? Because it, based on how you're speaking, it look like it's something that you have mused over a lot of times. So you can spit them out. And your honesty.
Yes. In fact, let's line them up with the nation's greatest problems.
Right.
Honesty is an easy one, because we know that for some reason we seem to be at all levels a very corrupt society. Okay? So we need to learn to be honest. And by the way, let me pause right there. Sometimes as Christians we embrace dishonesty, but we make it religious. For example, during one of the times when our government had heavy taxes on things like laptops coming in, I had a...
we hear that story. We hear that story.
Okay, you know it.
Yeah, hear that story.
Well, tell your leaders, tell your listeners, because we need to stop spiritualizing
dishonesty
and painting it over. Because quite often when we say dishonesty, right over we think politics.
But then we are dishonest in our dealings with each other. Right.
Okay. All right. Here's another thing we need, another value: reverence for life. It is evident based on the way we relate to each other, and we so easily go to conflict and killing, that we have no reverence for life. Or little, I should say. That has to become a new value. driven by Pastor Percy and Michael and all the best listeners. We can't so easily.
Take one, take life.
Of course, I can say that again.
So you can't support mob killing and them things.
Yeah, man, we can't. No, we have to have reverence for life, even in the middle of anger. And I'm talking about anger that is just. My decision making must be informed by that value called reverence for life. So even though you're doing something,
you're not going to take your life.
That I take something and shoot you or chop you. That value should call me, saying, Mike, come on, you can create life. Top of that, that life that you're about to take is created in the image of God, so back off, ease yourself. But if I don't have that value, I will kill like a cockroach.
Okay. Is that why we have that happening all over the world, that people are being killed like cockroaches because they have lost the reverence for life?
Well, I would suspect that's the case.
Okay.
As anybody who can kill easy has lost reverence for life.
Okay.
You know?
And your fundamental with that is that because you can't create it, you should not be able to kill it. But you're not saying if somebody has...
Two reasons, sir. Two reasons.
Yeah.
Number one, I must respect that a creator God created you in his image. And if I respect God, I'm going to respect you then. So that's one.
Okay.
And the other is, I cannot create life as yet, so therefore I will not take it. But I tell this Pastor Percy, any day you stay at church and see me raise somebody from the dead, enough man I go dead after that. My anger will come to the fore at some point.
Oh my Lord.
But then, since I can raise them back from the dead, then, you know, I mean,
you will raise them.
I'll momentarily teach them a lesson by killing them and then raise them
and
up.
then you raise them up back from the dead. You make bad things make laugh. Anyway.
But anyway, another value, of course, is that we must embrace is justice.
But isn't justice at the root of honesty and reverence for life? Because everything is wrapped up in this justice issue. What do you think? What do you think?
Well, remember, you know, all righteous values are rooted in the God that created us. So there's going to be overlap and so on. But I think they need to be separated because
we want justice.
You can be honest and still unjust.
You serious? Explain that.
You can be honest and still unjust.
I know what you mean, you know, but explain for listeners. So you can be honest and still an unjust man in terms of how you do things?
Of course.
I'm listening.
Of course. Because not all of us have learned to be firm, fair, and consistent, which is a simplistic definition of being just. You're firm, you're fair, and you're consistent. Because here's why. All right. You may treat me differently than you treat another pastor at church because we have a better relationship.
Correct.
It's not that you treat the other pastor. It's just that we have a better relationship. So that touches on you're not being fair. Okay? So you may treat the other person unfairly, not because you're wicked, but just because you have a better relationship with me. So there are aspects of relationships that will, of course, influence being firm, being fair, and being consistent. I'm sure if you check your own history with family, with friends, you are firmer with some people than you are with others. You are fairer with some than you are with others. You are more consistent in both the application of firmness and fairness with some people than with others. That don't mean you're a dishonest person. That don't mean that you don't have no reverence for life. It just means that you are influenced by your circumstances, by your relationships. So that's why we have to separate them. Justice is a value by itself that we all must learn to hold dear. Reverence for life, important value that we must all embrace. Honesty, we must all embrace that, and especially if we are Christians, stop preaching up this honesty and bring the Holy Spirit into it and talk about God did this and God did that when you know you're dishonest.
All right, go ahead, Mike. So what next?
Three major values right there. The firmness and fairness.
So if we sort that out, we're good.
Yeah, man. And then, last but not least, You know that verse in the Bible that says, let each consider the other as better than himself?
Mm-hmm.
How would you capture that as a value? Because remember now, I started out by trying to relate the values that we need with the problems that we have. So we have two more values. That one, that verse I just quoted, has to do with how we treat each other. We don't treat each other as first-class citizens here in this country. We don't do that. Right? We're stratified. We treat some people terribly. We treat some with favoritism. You ever walk into a government office or a pastor's office?
Or a store.
People are not so sanctified and them treat you like. But then once they find out that it's Percival, then all of a sudden they treat you good.
So Mike, honesty, reverence for life, justice. What's the other one you're saying?
This one that has, I'm trying to find a value that will be all embracing, that everybody understands. That
equity, equality.
Equity, yes, could be equity. Could be equity. That could be it. Equal treatment, equal good treatment for all. Mm-hmm. And then of course we need a value that speaks to the fact that we must become a nation that every day, as many of us as possible, get up and produce some good or service for the national economy.
You mean productive?
Yeah, man. Yeah. So productivity as a value, or production as a value. Mm-hmm. We don't have that right now. Or a few of us do, but not many of us do.
All right, Mike, it's a 7:30 break, but when we come back, so we've been looking at the importance of knowledge, and just before you go, a man say you're a joker. Knowledge comes through information, and that's what we lack, information.
Yeah, but if you don't apply information right,
that's wisdom. That's wisdom. Yeah. Because another one said to know a lot, but use your knowledge for your selfish gain or for evil purpose, then such a person may know better than those who lack knowledge and can be seen detrimental to life in general. That's just chatter from me having. Good morning to our callers on the World Wide Web, those who are on our YouTube channel this morning. As we go for our 7:30 break, it's 7:31. When we come back, we continue to focus on the importance of knowledge. We're going to go into the knowledge economy, talk about what's happening in the education system, but even so, what is happening in Parliament in terms of knowledge that's supposed to be released is being held because some people have some technicalities. When we come back.
Veg & Print is for all your printing needs. We specialize in calendars, flyers, brochures, and more. Call us today at 968-7506. That's 968-7506. Or visit us at 4 East Bloomsbury Road, off Hagley Park Road. Veg & Printers, your best choice in printing.
Half a tree, one and drive, half a tree. Bossy, how do I take taxi star?
Jano, I want to tell you, say, 2 months now, my transmission mash up, and I check everybody and can't hear nothing positive.
Yeah, hear me? You waste all that time I shop around and never call the experts. Winters Auto have them. Them have over 35 years of experience and them diagnose the problem and get back your transmission brand new. For them service excellent and efficient. Trust me, man. You hear me? Call them at 929-7040 or go to them at 106 Maxfield Avenue, Kingston 13 and talk directly to the boss. Just tell them I'm me, senior.
You big star. Yeah, man. Respect my boss.
Yeah, try calling him, cause trust me.
Waiters Auto Spares and Repairs, good afternoon.
What a relief.
Bess 100 FM presents the Mature and Moving Up Show with Lascelles Butch Chen on Thursdays from 6 to 9 p.m. Welcome to this pioneering radio program on our continuing worth in our maturing years, compellingly defined to educate and liberate the younger generation. Tune in and welcome.
What should a taxi service do for you?
On-Time Taxi Service is more than just a ride to the other side of town. They offer clean and spacious vehicles, reliable service, and promise to always look out for their customers. They'll come when you call and take you where you want to go on time.
From anywhere at all, you can call us at 926-3866.
We are something special on the road.
The Morning Connection is not your usual talk show. We aim to stimulate discussion and chart new paths to self-empowerment. So please join us, Minett and Percy, on The Morning Connection, Mondays to Thursdays, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Bess 100 FM.
It's good, it's better, but nothing beats.
Good morning, welcome back. So Michael, we've been talking about knowledge. For lack of knowledge, people perish. And I was just giving you some of the comments online in terms of straight up was saying knowledge is power. Knowledge comes through information. That's why we lacked knowledge. So the information is there, which gives us knowledge, but we are saying it is having it, but it can be good or bad. And I was just using the quote online, you know that he knows is a fool, shun him, and so on. But the whole thing of knowledge, you say that our education system has not really moved us forward as the way it should. Some things have been done, but in terms of what is needed in order to really educate us that we can build our own empire here in Jamaica is important for us. And you have continue to have some thoughts on it. But Mike, to shift gears a little bit, I want to focus on what's happening in education at this point in time. We have seen a significant migration of our teachers it's happening primary now, because I know our primary school teachers would have gone abroad to study, but even more so in terms of what is happening in the secondary school system, because I know that we have a serious problem. So the headline says this morning, the Gleaner, Exodus, principals see increase in transfers as private schools speaking the prep school hike fees to combat what has happened in the secondary system, the government, the grant aided system, because they're going to have to match those salaries. And so that is what is happening. And I hear the comment in the National Parent Teachers Association President Stuart Jacobs that while he had not seen increase interest among parents, he was anticipating it. We can see that happening. So the primary school, which is I think the primary the 0 to 6 and the 6 to 12, which is in my own mind in terms of a real policy shift in terms of where we put the resources to get our kids properly prepared, that if they are leaving primary school, they are numerate and literate. But we're not seeing that, and the PEP results has indicated that now in a lot of primary schools they are running programs, they call it the National School Academy, that people who are near master or so on or below can be brought up to a level that they are properly prepared. Because when I was leaving primary school, this is a long time ago, you could knock the system. A lot of us leaving were literate and numerate, and we could basically fill out forms and so on. That was the strength of the primary system. What say you?
Yeah, I agree with you somewhat there. But my training in education and my experience personally taught me something. In fact, the experience validated the training. I went to Curacao to look for a family member who had moved from Jamaica to Curacao. and I was speaking to his 6-year-old child. And the child was having a child-adult conversation, and then his little 5-6-year-old friend from Curacao walked up to him and asked him something in Papiamento, their language. And he just said, "Excuse me, Uncle Michael," and right away went into Papiamento. Then later on that day, some friend from Venezuela was by, and that 6-year-old was speaking to him in Spanish. So I sat down my Jamaican father brethren, and I said, "What's going on here? Your child is multilingual already?" He said, "Oh, well," or he speaks English because that's what we speak in the family, because Jamaica where I come from. He speaks Papiamento because that's what his
friends speak.
He speaks Dutch because that's what's taught in the schools down here, and he speaks Spanish because that's the only television we have.
So he was
6 years old,
and he was
speaking 5 languages. Okay. Now, I had studied that in education, that children between the ages of birth and 8 years old
are sponges.
Fertile minds. But what age group do we pay the least attention to in our system?
0 to 6.
Lord have mercy. Then, brother Percival, tell me something now. Seriously? Now, I know everybody perhaps in our educational system knows this, but we just can't throw off what we embrace from the British and determine to chart our own course by seeing what can happen to a country with a country citizens where we invest heavily in their early childhood development. When I just came back from the U.S., I was looking for Spanish and French teachers for early childhood. Down to my PTA take me on. Our school goes from early childhood, from nursery right to grade 6. So I was pressing my principal we are to have multilingual classes in early childhood. Sir, no, sir, we are not supposed to do that, sir. You see, a few months later, when children were going home greeting their parents with Spanish phrases like Buenos tardes, Mama, PTA meeting I was a hero.
What do you mean you were a hero?
As in like, wow, Uncle Michael, we never know them could have learned. We never know them could have learned Spanish. And I'm only 5, you know. I mean, that kind of approach. I don't understand where. I mean, we see this potential in our children. We see it. And yet we don't want to act on it because traditionally that's not what the system asks for. Now, I give you that example just as a template to apply throughout the whole system. Bearing in mind, as you said, there are some good aspects of the system, gives us good foundation. But by the way, that really is only true if you are able to get access to the best parts of the system. And thank God that it's changing because, some of the reform over the years has upgraded some of our schools that were in the old British system. We call those secondary schools that were upgraded. Not as good as...
You should not never have had that, and even upgraded in name, but in resource you don't have it. And that is a challenge we have.
But at least the knowledge has pressed us to begin the journey. We're not where we ought to be as yet because, there still is no comparison between Holy Childhood and Holy Trinity high schools. We know that. All right? But at least the knowledge gained has given us the push to begin the journey. We now have to apply it with equity throughout and so on. But now that introduces the fact that we have to have some kind of national intervention, governance intervention to really, really reinforce the change. But how are you going to do that in a country where you can't... If Pastor Percy is a top school, is a top teacher, a senior teacher at Holy Childhood, you think you can take Pastor Percy, put him down a Holy Trinity.
Yeah, but Mike, as you pointed that out, even you see, so now as you raise that, it just speaks to other issues. Because this recent reclassification and compensation review has really hit the teaching profession hard. There's exodus from prep to primary, but there's exodus from teachers, and I want to reflect on what Favor Williams, it's on page A2, and she says teacher resignations less of an issue for new school year. And she goes and she quotes some figure. Let's see. She says last year at this time 1,664 teachers went off on either 4 months or 8 months leave or retired. Okay? And she said that represents about 7% of the 25,000. And then she goes to at length, and you need to speak to this strategy, which is the government is using, to say, all right, so this is what is coming out of this. There are close to 400 specialized teacher training graduates this year. The categories include 28 for business studies, 36 for computer studies, 60 for English language literacy, 20 for industrial technology, 17 for geography, 31 for social study, 126 for mathematics, 30 for integrated science, 9 for biology, 8 for chemistry, 2 for physics, and 3 for Spanish. And she's saying 70 teachers have come in from Cuba to boost the Spanish offerings. And she goes on to speak about it. But Michael, I saw something that was sent to me that 20% clear vacancies. Our point that a scan of advertisement published in the law up to Tuesday, which indicate 20% clear vacancies, and that 34 of the position were for teachers to fill in for others, and 48 months. I tell you this, and we're gonna be having people next week from the educational sector to talk to us. I don't think Ms. Williams nor understand the severity of the crisis that is facing us. Because if you scan the Sunday paper starting from as early back as May into June into July,
yes,
somebody sent me something that had 34 schools. This was like 2 weeks ago, and for each of those schools there were at least 10 requests for teachers. And in talking to people in the system, I went to my son's graduation. I was talking to different people that come, and somebody says one school they say we're gonna lose, but we're looking for specialized teachers in terms of the sciences. But the person knows of a school in particular that have no teachers. It's a high school. No teacher not there. No teacher not there. And you talk to even people now. So that's the public system. Private system, I was in another location and we're just talking about what's happening, and somebody chimed in and said they go to a private high school and no teacher not there. So she's wondering what she must do, and I'm saying, oh Lord have mercy. And I know of a fact in my church community, Mike, already the teachers, I know 5 or 6 teachers who have their contracts in hand, and come August morning, September morning, they're out of here.
Wow.
They're out of here. And so, like, specialist teachers...
Pause right there, please. Pause right there. They have not informed their school, and that's dishonest, and they ought to understand.
No, some of them have informed their schools already.
All right.
Yeah, they've informed their school. They have informed their schools to indicate that this is in place, this is what is happening, I'm out of here. I am. Because like if you go into England, or even going to America, which is where the people. But now Dubai is opening up. Because no teachers who are going to Dubai, the Far East, the Middle East.
Well, and you can't blame them, Pastor Percy. Patriotism was not a value that we taught heavily in high school or primary school or early childhood school. We maybe during your time and my time, yes, the civics pressed us to be Jamaicans and love Jamaica first. But with the way things have developed, of course, people have to look out for people are looking out for their own self-interest. And up to last night, I was speaking to a teacher who happened to be a former mentee of mine who literally came back to, after she went to Teachers College, came back and taught at the school that I'm the patron at, and then came to me and said, "Uncle, I have an opportunity to teach in the USA."
Mm-hmm.
We couldn't compete with that opportunity. You know, there's no way a local rural early childhood and prep school could compete with that opportunity. And I could not tell her, don't take the opportunity. I just advised, make sure it's legal. Don't go up there and live like a third world citizen in a first world country, because you're trying to make a way for yourself and you're getting involved in legal activity. So she, you know, it was straight and everything, and she just came in for holidays and caught me up on
about
how she was doing and how she enjoying herself.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I think that the exodus is only going to get worse if those who are the gatekeepers in our educational castle don't take the time to remunerate persons properly. And of course, we have to, it's not just a matter of giving them money, but making them feel worthwhile. There are some schools in Pastor Percy where it's, when you go there as a teacher and teach a day, or even like myself that will go in and help with boys for a day, you walk out feeling depressed, you know.
I know.
Because the situation seems almost hopeless.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to attend to that aspect of our teachers, our educators, our psyche. It's not just a matter of throwing money at them. We need to throw more money at them, yes, but attend to their emotional and mental well-being, because some of the playing fields are very, very rough.
All right, Mike, I want to, because we're going up to and I want to bring this in. So next week we're going to be talking to probably one person who is signed the contract out of here, one of the specialist teacher. And I tell you, Mike, you talk to they don't want to leave. They don't want to leave. As one person who is out of here, she was at tears. She said, we're talking to her and saying, I know, but I can't live. I have to look after my mother. I have to look after my mother. She couldn't say some medical emergency came up, and these are other issues of equity. The health thing, our elderly mother's conditions, and need to do this, that. She couldn't afford to do it. She couldn't afford to do it. She was at tears. And then what has happened with this compensation package review, when you roll everything, when teachers used to get allowances for technology, or you get allowances for seniority, or allowances because you have a master, all of that lumping in one. So and those were tax free. What happens? And then you have, with this compensate, you have shafted your teachers. If they feel left behind. The teachers, the nurses. I haven't heard the policemen squawking. That mean that them good. And that's what you do politically, because you want to have the security forces. It's something that has been used all of the time in different administrations. You take care of the police because you want to secure the ballot on the day and And whoever the police who is with who the police is with normally wins the election, whether we like it or not, with all of the systems that are in place to prevent that. But this lack of real investment in education behind what is monetary, but also what is happening in policy. And I'm hearing Robert Nesta Morgan in this article. He says every year there are more teacher grading graduates than the amount of teachers that are leaving the classroom. And we're running the risk of having a lot of teachers unemployed because there's not enough space in the education system to employ them. I think one of the things the media needs to start thinking about is whether or not more teachers are migrating than those who are graduated. But how are we going to find space for a lot of the teachers who are leaving teachers college who are having challenges because there's not enough space in the public education system for them? Really? Robert Nesta Morgan? Really? Mr. Minister of Information? And you have said there's a strategy. What is the 3D strategy again? That's a 3D strategy again?
I don't want you getting involved in you and Mr. Morgan's quarrel, you know.
I'm not in a quarrel, but what I'm saying, those of
Mr.
us...
Morgan, if he's a properly trained communication director, he would have learned to deny, deflect, and destroy.
Okay.
Okay? He would have learned that. Anybody who is worth their salt in that aspect, in that profession, we all know that you must deny when something goes wrong. Yeah, you deny. I never had sex with a woman. I mean, you remember that famous denial by a president?
Clinton, yeah.
Yes, then you deflect whatever the issue is. Try to blame somebody else, some other circumstance. And if that still doesn't work and take heat off of you, you destroy them professionally, you destroy them even worse, destroy their lives. That's the 3Ds, what the 3Ds are all about.
And knowledge, again, as we go into a break when we'll field questions, on the front page, but we've seen some things, you know, and we have to be so careful that we're not taking sleep and marking that. COP deletes journalists' recording, searches phones. It's a front page where a journalist was, because the courts are open for you to go in and record. Searches came after the veteran newsman claimed he was directed by presiding judge Justice Sonia Wintblair to go with the policeman identified only as Constable Scott outside the courtroom. Constable Scott is believed to be the police guard assigned to the judge. Justice Wintblair directed me to follow Constable Scott outside with the words to the effect that I should ensure that my recordings are not there on my recorder when I come back in each charge and a report on the air. She also said words to the effect that if I were to use the records in any report, then I would see what happens, he said. The Gleaner requested from the court administration the judge's account of the incident and the legal basis for the search of the journalist's record and mobile phone, but there was no response up to late yesterday. The request was acknowledged by Cadiz Jarrett Fletcher, Acting Director of Client Services, Communication and Information at CAD. A senior request, the Senior Superintendent Stephanie Lindsay and Deputy Superintendent Dennis Brooks were registered, assigned to the communication arm of the went unanswered up to late yesterday. Brooks acknowledged receiving the request. What say you?
You expect me to respond to that at this point, my brother?
I'm just putting it out there. What is happening? The PAJ has made their thing. And why would they do that? Because my understanding, their courts are open. You can go into court. And listen, that is how we have it in our constitution. Unless there's a special thing and it is in chambers answered. Is this a new protocol that we are seeing in our nation? Because somebody was saying in terms of what's happening on social media, that there needs to enact a law in regards to public mischief. But a lawyer was saying, no, it is there. If it's public mischief, you can't do it. Do we have in our constitution free speech, that we can speak, and as long as it is not derogatory, not libelous, destructive to the person? Because some of the time it is in the free exchange of ideas that people grow and so on. I hope that this is not a new precedent. I really do hope so.
I'll tell you, when you are driven by the wrong values and the wrong principles and precepts in life, man.
I really hope so, because if you are able to, I think that is what it happens. You are able to go into the court and you can listen, you can take notes, and so on. It's like with Parliament, with the public broadcast system. When Parliament is happening, it's broadcast live because they want the people to see what is happening in their Parliament. That's how it go?
Yep.
Yeah, so the knowledge. For lack of knowledge, my people perish. We don't want to be perishing as Jamaicans. Knowledge is important. Yes. Knowledge is a very important thing, my brother. Wow.
Certainly is.
Yeah.
Yeah. We have to be very careful, man, as we build this country, this empire.
Yes.
That Jamaica should be.
Mm-hmm.
This empire of light.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I tell you, I don't. What's the name of that girl who is PTA president again?
Lasandra, Mrs. Harrison.
Yes. I remember her saying or reading that she had said something that we don't need any outside consultants for education. We have the persons here already. And in fact, she had made the comparison with athletics.
Mm-hmm.
So listen, when we were putting together this strong team of people to take over the world athletically, we didn't need to go consult with nobody abroad. We had the wherewithal here. When we were putting together reggae as a music art form, we never consulted with anybody abroad, and she made that kind of comparison.
It's here in our people. Just allow the people.
Yeah, man. Allow the resilience of people, the creativity to come out.
Mm-hmm.
Because we have it within us.
Mm-hmm.
Now, of course, there are times that you need to go consult, need to gain knowledge from others. But as a bodybuilder said to me once, I was in the gym doing lifting weights to strengthen my arms, and a gentleman walked up to me and said, "You're doing it wrong," and showed me how to change. And a bodybuilder, well known, as I call his name, he stepped up to me and said, "Why did you just change the exercise you're doing?" I said, "Because that gentleman just told me I was doing it wrong." And listen carefully, Pastor Pete, to what he said. He says, before you take advice from anybody,
mm-hmm.
take a look at the body parts that they're advising you about first.
Mm-hmm.
If theirs is not developed, don't follow the advice.
All right, boss.
Go back to what you're doing. We're doing it right.
On that note, Michael, we take our 8 o'clock break. Knowledge is power. Knowledge, you say you don't agree. Knowledge, I think knowledge is empowering. And it's how we use
knowledge.
it.
Knowledge
is empowering. The other one, if you use it wrong, we get into problems. We're going into this long break. I just want to come back for 5 minutes, and then we're going to open the lines afterwards for comments. We focusing on how important knowledge is in terms of this enterprise called Jamaica and what we need to do as we move forward. This is your Morning Connection host, Percival Palmer, celebrating my co-host's birthday today. It's Minett Lawrence. Wherever you are, be blessed.
Happy birthday to you.
All right, listen, man.
You're simply the best. Better than all the rest. Better than anyone. Anyone I've ever met. You're simply the best.
Best FM 100 on your dial. Keep listening.
Hello, I'm Moira Alderson with the BBC News. The leader of Belarus has said Yevgeny Prigozhin, the boss of Russia's Wagner paramilitary army, was not in Belarus but back in his native St. Petersburg. The Kremlin said it was not following Mr. Prigozhin's movements. Here's Sarah Rainsford.
The only thing we can say with any certainty is that we actually don't know where Yevgeny Prigozhin is. What we know is that there's all sorts of political games going on between Belarus and Russia, and Yevgeny Prigozhin, the man who led that mutiny just over a week ago, which threatened Vladimir Putin's authority, he apparently is still a free man. Alexander Lukashenko, the leader of Belarus, said that Mr. Prigozhin is not in that country. Now, that is not what he said some 10 days ago. He said that Mr. Prigozhin was there, that he'd offered to let him bed down for a while, as he put it. But in fact, that same evening, we tracked a private jet linked to Mr. Prigozhin flying back to Russia.
At least 4 people have been killed and more than 30 others injured by a Russian missile strike on a residential area of Lviv in western Ukraine. The city's mayor has described it as the largest attack on Lviv since the beginning of Russia's invasion. These survivors described what happened.
We were at home and I woke up from the first explosion, but we didn't have time to leave the apartment. There was a second explosion, the ceiling started to fall. My mother was immediately hit. I jumped out. I tried to reach my mother, but I couldn't. I found out that my mother had died.
If it wasn't for the rescuers, we wouldn't have left the apartment. I am left without an apartment, without anything. I heard screams from the neighbors. I think they were being pulled out of the rubble. They were terrifying screams.
President Volodymyr Zelensky has promised what he called a tangible response. The US Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen has arrived in China for a visit intended to diffuse tensions between the world's 2 largest economies. Rupert Wingfield-Hayes explains the trade issues at stake.
From the American side, it is this push by the Biden administration to restrict China's access to American chip technology. Essentially, it's trying to deny China access to the most cutting-edge chips to use in the defense sector. The other way round, in the last few days, China has reacted, said that it's going to start in August to restrict the export of 2 important rare earths known as gallium and germanium. China dominates most of the rare earth industry, and it's used in electronics, in electric vehicles, in batteries, and things like that.
A court in Sweden has sentenced a Kurdish man to 4.5 years in jail for attempting to finance the Kurdish militant group, the PKK. The case has been keenly watched as Sweden is currently trying to join NATO, but its application is being blocked by Turkey. World news from the BBC. The climate activist Greta Thunberg is to appear in court in her native Sweden later this month, charged with disobeying the police during a recent protest. The 20-year-old was among a group of young protesters who blockaded oil tankers at a port in Malmö in June, with officers saying she refused to leave when asked to. Silvio Berlusconi's 2 eldest children will jointly have a majority stake of 53% in the family's holding company, Fininvest. The remainder will be controlled by his other 3 children from his second marriage. Sofia Betitza reports.
For weeks, it's been the object of much speculation. Who would lead Silvio Berlusconi's empire after his death? According to his will, made public today, his 2 eldest children, Marina and Pier Silvio, will jointly have a major stake in the family holding company. They both already have management roles in the family business. Berlusconi also left 100 million euros to Marta Fascina, his partner at the time of his death, and 53 years his junior.
State media in China has hailed the country's first homegrown open-source desktop operating system as a challenge to Western technology. OpenKylin was fully released on Wednesday and can be used in computers and smartphones. The state-affiliated developer said it was already deployed at China's space program. OpenKylin is free, and its open-source nature means it can be modified and distributed at will by users. Data for last month shows it was the hottest June globally on record. The EU's climate monitoring service says June was just over 0.5 degrees Celsius above the 1991 to 2020 average, exceeding the previous high for June set in 2019. Northwest Europe was particularly hot. Parts of Canada, the US, Mexico, Asia and eastern Australia were significantly warmer than normal. That's the latest. BBC News.
We're just a click away. www.bestfm.com. Streaming live on the internet.
Having trouble getting parts for your Mazda? Maljam Auto Parts is your solution. Find Maljam at the new and convenient location off Upper Waltham Park Road at 9 Kingswood Avenue. Maljam Auto Parts, with over 25 years experience, providing all Mazda parts, new and used. Call 923-4389 and 461-1786. Maljam Auto Parts, serving your Mazda needs.
Do you remember, Jolo?
Yeah, man.
Well, guess what? I allow it 4 to 6 every Friday.
Boom shot.
And Best 100 FM.
Boom shot.
You ready?
Yeah, man.
You ready?
Yeah, man.
Well, I eat that.
I love it. Which part today?
Tune in, beloved people. We're there on it. Bless you.
Best FM. Bow.
Hello. Pastor Howard Palmer here, coming to you from New York City, this and every Saturday morning, 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. That's right, 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. this and every Saturday morning, right here on Best 100 FM. Don't you miss it.
That does sound healthy at all. Get healthy, my friends. Stay balanced. Tune into this station, Best FM 100, every Saturday morning, 8 o'clock to 9, for this wonderful program, Your Health Today, with me, Dr. Clarion Palmer. Yes, get healthy. Stay balanced. Best FM 100, Saturday morning, 8 o'clock, with me, Dr. P. Get healthy.
Greetings, brothers and sisters. I invite you to join us for the Church of Our Lord Jesus Christ radio program with Elder Kendrick Murray, where we stand firm that Jesus Christ is the Son of God. This broadcast is heard every Saturday from 12 noon to 1 p.m. and again on Sundays from 4 to 5 p.m. The church is located at 3550 Pleasant Valley Road here in Mobile, Alabama in the United States. You may visit our website at sonofgodlives.org or our YouTube page at Minister K. Murray. Or you may call us at area code 251-300-8812. God bless you, and we look forward to you tuning in to the program.
Nothing is impossible for God is a deliverance ministry dedicated to the preaching of the gospel and the healing of the sick. Here on Best 100 FM, Sundays at 12:30 to 1 with Reverend Neville Otten Pastor. Your life will never be the same. Pray for the prayers and receive God's deliverance ministry. This program is sponsored by PJ Distributor at the corner of Main Street, Santa Cruz and Market Street. For prayer, call 828-4413. Luke 1:37, Jeremiah 32:17 said, nothing is impossible for God. God bless you, my friend.
Shalom, this is Bishop Nathaniel of Israel United in Christ. Join me every Sunday at 5 p.m. on 100 Best FM, where we will discuss the truth. What's the truth, you ask? Jesus Christ said, you shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. The truth is, brothers and sisters, that Jesus Christ is a black man. The prophets are black. The Israelites are black. And the people of Jamaica, that's right, the people of Jamaica are Israelites. Our people have been scattered throughout North, Central, and South America and the west coast of Africa during the transatlantic slave trade. That's right, your church don't want to talk about it, but guess what? We're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about the worst atrocity that happened in all mankind according to the Holy Bible, according to Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 15 through 68. So join us every Sunday on Best FM at 5 p.m. Shalom.
Best 100 FM is the authentic voice of Jamaica, promoting your prosperity with better vibes and better music. Let us promote your goods and services for you. Advertise with us. For more information, call our office at 276-8935. That's 276-8935.
The Morning Connection is not your usual talk show. We aim to stimulate discussion and chart new paths to self-empowerment. So please join us, Minett and Percy, on The Morning Connection, Mondays to Thursdays, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Bess 100 FM.
It's good, it's better, but nothing beats.
Hello?
Yes, good morning. Good morning again.
Yeah, Mike. Just before you go, we didn't mention the fact that when the US of A celebrated their Independence Day, CARICOM was also celebrating 50 years. And for us to understand how impactful this was, we had the senior foreign diplomat in the U.S. government being present, Mr. Blinken, coming and saying, with the challenges, we are recommitting ourselves to CARICOM. I wonder if him seeing what is happening with China.
It's on the 4th of July that happened.
I didn't what?
But be mindful, he's a Jamaican.
Not Blinken. Blinken is Jamaican? Anthony Blinken?
The ambassador?
No, the ambassador is Jamaican, but I'm saying the senior diplomat in the U.S. The Secretary of State, Anthony Blinken, was present in Port of Spain, saying, we are recommitting ourselves to the region. They recommitted.
That's what you said, the ambassador.
No. Sorry. The senior U.S. diplomat, most senior U.S. diplomat, who would be the Secretary of State, Mr. Blinken, was there. Yeah. What do you make of that?
Well, it's important, of course, that they pay attention to the islands of the Caribbean and that body that we call CARICOM that's supposed to represent us all. So I don't think he had a choice in not representing his country properly. We sit right on the coast almost of the United States, and we are all aware that China is trying to make inroads into this area, and that creates a problem for them. So
trying to make inroads or has made inroads?
Have made inroads.
Oh, okay.
So they will pay attention. This is a good time for us, of course, to
draw something more out of them.
Yes, man.
Aye.
Yes. Yeah. Mm-hmm. International politics, my brother. That's how it goes. And again, if we're good negotiators, if we have good negotiators in government and the CARICOM, we would take advantage of this.
Mm-hmm.
But as one of your favorite callers, Mary, says, we seem not to have that, at least in Jamaica. So I don't necessarily expect that we will gain much
in regards to it.
From the significance of both birthday celebrations.
Yeah, but I thank you for sharing with us this morning. Another big event that's happening is that our National Junior and Senior Athletics Championship opened today at the National Stadium, begin at 10 o'clock this morning.
Oh, and by the way, the 4th of July was Tuesday, was it not?
Yes, it was, right.
My brother, isn't there a more significant event relevant to Jamaica that you should at least highlight?
Right, it was Norman Manley, and there was not much to know about it. But in closing, you made the comment that he could say what he did, what his generation did. What can we say in terms of what our generation?
From my generation.
Yes.
Said that forcefully in one of his speeches before he left the scene, dropped the mic and gone.
Yeah. But that's important. So can our present leaders across all sectors in our society say that with a clear hands and clear heart, mission accomplished for this generation? Because with all the leaders here our present leader being born after 1962. What are we doing? What are we saying? We have to fix education. Reports, commissions not helping us. We need implementation, and we need agreement across the political divide in terms of a vision that is ensuring that there is shared prosperity for all Jamaicans.
Yes, indeed.
In Jamaica. Mike, thank you for your input this morning. Very thought-provoking. We don't agree on everything. We don't agree on everything, but one of the things we agree on is that we can do better as Jamaicans. For Jamaica.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
We must get
God
agree
bless
on
you and all your listeners, my brother.
All right, then. Blessings. See you Monday as we continue to focus on education. Good. Thank you, Pastor Mike, my country pastor, Harvard-trained political person. As we open the lines this morning, we are in studio. Would normally be at the Ligani Club, but we open the lines this morning for you to comment on what you see happening. 876-619-1508. We focus on knowledge. How important knowledge is. We focus on knowledge and the impact it has on our vision, creating a vision that is lasting. Pastor Mike shared that with all of what's happening, he thinks we need to change our culture. He's been very strong on that all the times he's been. A culture of honesty, reverence for life, justice, equity, and productivity. You can add what you want, even as we speak about what's happening in the political arena. We've seen where reports have been tabled by the Integrity Commission. Reports have been tabled by the Auditor General. The big thing that is happening is that the Speaker of the House says, no, I'm getting legal advice, but 2 months, and somebody was saying on another station or interpretation of it. We need people to weigh in. Is it correct? 'Cause knowledge is important. Knowledge is important. Knowledge of what is happening. And the Integrity Commission has introduced a new policy in which they are saying that the Integrity Commission says it has introduced a new policy that requires the Director of Investigation to communicate with persons who may be adversely affected by an investigation report before the document is sent to Parliament for tabling. So they're just going to communicate with them. It says the objective of the policy is to communicate the findings of investigation reports to the affected person so that their comments may be recorded before it goes to Parliament. So there is something that's happening even in terms of the tabling of a report in which the Senate President Tom Tavares Finson withheld his copy of the report and subsequently tabled it last Friday. So they sent a report. They asked for it to be recalled, sent back so they can do it. He said, no, I don't know anything about that. So he tabled the report, although the Speaker of the House and the clerk had returned theirs and thing. What say you? So this morning, interesting times as we say this is our Friday. I'm going to be so excited. Oh, our national championships are happening open. Remember, the lines are now open for you to comment on 876-619-1508. One of our lines are not working, but boy, what's happening in education? Parents, all Jamaicans, we have to wake up. Our true prosperity lies in an education system that works for all of us. And Micah said, boy, we, like with the constitution that we've had, we just came up with this, not recognizing that the constitution, which is a covenant, is supposed to speak to the overall prosperity of the people, not just some, but for everybody. Good morning, caller. Thank you for calling. This is the Morning Connection.
Yes, I bless and love.
Yes.
I connect this morning.
Hi, how you doing, my brother? Vervine.
I know. I have to bless your love to each and everyone listening to Bess FM right now.
All right, Vervine. What's up?
Yeah, but me I say, all of them things are surprising. It's surprising to the people, and I wonder why. Because what pastor?
Yes, sir.
How much do you like Satan no work for you?
How much what, Vervine? Mr. Wande, how much what?
You like Satan any work for you?
If me would I give him any work for the but no, but him always a work. No, I'm gonna give him no work.
Yeah, but people are running down to give him work, and the boy, I him the man you know, cause a long time we hear about him and him dangerous and wicked, and why God not do nothing to me, and me I try Satan and know, and me a flashy and you're flashy and you know, you're not no rule, because you don't know, say, the brother doesn't have no rule.
Yeah, I like how you put it.
Yeah, man, so, you know, I me see people, them, I do, some just show them the boy who can't go, so, you know, so if we go, so we think I go happen to the earth.
Yes.
You have to respect the earth and yourself.
True.
Earth and sky, you know, you want power.
Right.
You know, so anything we do, we can't hide. You know, and we must have to pay for it. So the best thing we do.
So good things. Do good.
Love one another.
Yes.
Live in a peace and harmony.
True.
And everything will alright.
Boy, my brother.
The people them want to go reach sky, you know, appear sky, me everybody talk about who want to go up there. And me a dream big. And so kind of big dream. And no action.
Alright.
And you hold down people and stop people and all kind of thing. Hey, Pastor, what we really do? Because we can't justify them things, you know. We can't justify the wrong, you know.
You're right, you know, Vervine. Because when you really look at it, one of the things, them, Vervine, and I constantly say, this is my thinking and belief, that you can make a choice. You have to make a choice. And if it's in front of you, and you can't go right or left, you must decide which way you are going. Not true?
Not true, man.
Yeah, man, but the people, them are decide to go the other way.
A long time, I talk, you know, long time, because I see it coming up. And I try to show the people, what the people, sometimes let me hear them say, boy, I smoke, man.
Yes.
But them don't know, it's not what I'm smoking.
True.
And I tell you, say, the people, that's why sometimes I wonder if the people really don't understand. But it don't look like them understand, because every day I hear them. We have to go educate the people, we have to go educate. So what kind of more educate we want? And we have wisdom, knowledge, and understanding.
Yeah, because, Vervine, as you talk about it, you know, you can educate people and become a fool.
What I mean, man? That me I talk about. Because that them I teach them. Them I teach them foolishness, so we must come a fool.
Yeah, because...
You know, and we know the right, and we to them have way, and I explain to them I teach it. We feel like the right way we have, it's not good. And then you hear the man come say, boy, we not going to give up on the right, you know. Not going to give up on the right, and I just say, you know, I tell you, but me don't know, say, I am in the world, but not of the world.
True.
And one more thing again, Pastor. I say, this thing I come to me now. Golden have to go buy back the people them. But we have to go buy back the people. And so you have some farmers, so it have to go.
You mean win back the people then? Win back the people confidence?
In the same way me talk about it.
Okay.
Win, buy, rally, anyhow come, we have to get back the people them to understanding. And like wake them up. I look like them a dream. Everybody a dream. So we have to wake them up and make them say, see there, use your eye. See the sunshine there, see the moon there. So when you can't see all of them things, you know so what you see. So some people can't see the moon and the sun because they can't even look up or walk night. So that we have to do. And them things them come to me. So I make the people them know say, open no eye. But about wake up, open no eye and look. Nobody about no smell no coffee. Look and know the bush. Open your eye and know the bush.
True.
See? Yeah, and just know that we not deal with no evil. And one thing again, the people them not be a coward. No coward. No, don't be afraid of the herder man.
Mm-hmm.
We have buck them down. So make them lead we know where we are go.
Yeah, but Vervan, you've raised a very important point in terms of do not be afraid. I was having a conversation with somebody yesterday, and they were saying, people know, but they become so fearful of what could happen. And the good master saying, you must know you need for fear still, because if you fear the man who can kill you now, warm to the man who can really destroy the most important thing to your soul. So I operate off a basis, but I don't fear no man. I only fear God.
No man, me don't fear man, because you see, all the years them are locked down and them are locked around and I pull up. Mm-hmm. Me go to see where because me no handle none of them devil control, You see, so me just know the right and do it.
You know the right to do it. That is what he must do all the time.
Yeah, man. So me know the right and do it now. Me have no fear of Satan.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, say God protect me.
Right.
In all everywhere me move.
Yeah.
I'm protected by the Most High.
Right.
Yeah.
So
I want to tell the people them say, don't afraid of them man. We are threatening about them about down in house and we have to left community.
Mm-hmm. Fear God. He may protect you.
Yes, I. So blessed job here, sir.
All right, Vervine. Well, Vervine has said it. Blessings. And it's now we take our 8:30 break. Remember, the lines are open for you to call in. 876-619-1508. Just greet Taki, who has joined us online. Greeting. Knowledge is an important thing. And that's what we've been talking about. For lack of knowledge, my people perish. People must have a knowledge of who God is and what He has done. It's our 8:30 break. When we come back.
Veg & Print is for all your printing needs. We specialize in calendars, flyers, brochures, and more. Call us today at 968-7506. That's 968-7506. Or visit us at 4 East Bloomsbury Road, off Hagley Park Road. Veg & Printers, your best choice in printing.
For a better choice in all your electrical supplies, A, authorized 3M dealer and better brand names. B, better service including free island-wide delivery. C, all major credit and debit cards accepted. It's ABC Electrical Sales. Shop number 8, Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10. Open Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., Saturday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. We make your electrical jobs as easy as ABC. Call 754-3825-8 or fax 754-3659. ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice.
Half a tree, 100, half a tree. Bossy, how you do I take taxi star?
Jano, I want to tell you, say, 2 months now, my transmission mash up, and me check everybody and can't hear nothing positive.
Yeah, hear me? You waste all that time I shop around and never call the experts. Winters Auto have them. Them have over 35 years of experience and them diagnose the problem and get back your transmission brand new. For them service excellent and efficient. Trust me, man. Yeah, hear me? Call them at 929-7040 or go to them at 106 Maxfield Avenue, Kingston 13 and talk directly to the boss. Just tell them I'm me, send you.
You big star. Yeah, man. Respect my boss.
Yeah, try and call it, cause trust me.
Auto Spares and Repairs, good afternoon.
What a relief.
What should a taxi service do for you? On-Time Taxi Service is more than just a ride to the other side of town. They offer clean and spacious vehicles, reliable service, and promise to always look out for their customers. They'll come when you call and take you where you want to go on time.
Call us at 926-3866.
We are something special on the road.
Ew, baby, you sick? Drink this.
Strong back tonic wine. But baby, you look like you want to sort out.
You think that's all Trang back good for? This delicious tonic wine has natural ingredients like Busy, Medina, Moringa, and more to strengthen your body so you can fight off anything, including viruses, where it sound like you catch. Available island-wide, all foreign. Order at 749-1286 option 1 or IG Trangback TW. Trangback.
Straighten your back for me.
Half a tree. When I'm ready, 200. Ready, mama. Ready. Is this the confusion you feel when trying to work your way through medical systems in Jamaica? Try a dose of Ask Dr. Mary every Thursday at 5 to 6 p.m. Let Dr. Mary help you understand your medical problems and bring you to a calmer place.
The Morning Connection is not your usual talk show. We aim to stimulate discussion and chart new paths to self-empowerment. So please join us, Minett and Percy, on The Morning Connection, Mondays to Thursdays, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Bess 100 FM.
It's good, it's better, but nothing beats.
Good morning. Welcome back to The Morning Connection. It's now 8:35. Good morning,
Good
caller.
morning.
Welcome, Mary. How are you today?
Me llama Maria, Spanish.
Oh, Maria.
Pastor Percy.
I got your...
Good morning to, what's his name? The pastor that was on. Good morning for me.
Pastor
Maybe he's
Aiken.
listening.
Pastor
Listen to
Aiken.
this. Let me take time. Pastor Percy, I don't want to expose my business out on the road to the world because people have a way they run into you and they try to befriend you and then they turn on you like a monster. Anyway, I don't hear properly in my left ear, right?
Correct.
I remember I'm a storyteller.
Right.
I heard you saying something about monologue and things like that yesterday, but it's all right.
No, but I saying, but
Percy and everybody out there, Pastor Percy, why is it we are
they're trying.
I'm a lucky woman to be able to be speaking. Anyway, so just take time with me. Yes, Pastor Percy, back to the Spanish thing.
Yes.
Lucky woman to be able to be speaking. Anyway, so just take time with me. Yes, Pastor Percy, back to the Spanish thing.
Yes.
I did Spanish in high school, and I did Spanish too with a Cuban lady. She's one of my few mentors, that woman. She told me certain things I wouldn't even bother tell you people on the phone. Don't turn a toilet seat for any man.
Okay.
I don't know if you pick up what that means. Martini Mendoza.
Okay.
She had a school in Banbury, Linstead. A commercial school, and she taught Spanish, right? I went to Miami for the first time at age 17. Pure Cubans were there.
Right.
I didn't see any black people, right? And it was all Spanish. And look at the proximity between Jamaica and Cuba and Miami. And imagine none of our people from Manly and Buster come right down until now. They are not forward thinking to know we should be speaking 2 languages in Jamaica or 3.
I'm in agreement with you, Mary, about
when
that.
You're little bit, when you're black or when you're little bit, you have to speak without opening your mouth and you have to be ahead of the game.
That's correct.
Because I heard the gentleman saying like me and exposure. Yes, from I was a little girl. Little girls in here from them born, I said to them parents, they must have them handbag. Little girls must have. I never had a doll. I never played dolly house. No.
So you train them from early, Mary, in terms of the...
And they call them lawyer. A little girl in here from she was 6 months old, she's waving to me. So I call her Queenie until today.
Okay.
Little doctor, little this. You bill up people. Right?
It is called...
We should have been speaking Spanish in our The taxi man should know Spanish when you go. You understand what I mean?
I'm in agreement with you because I tell you, Mary, I was saying one of my regrets, and with my children, I insisted. I says, when you go to high school, do not do like what Daddy did at grade 9. Enjoy the language and then drop it. And the thing, because the first job I had, it is that high school up to grade 9 Spanish that helped me because I went overseas. And we must recognize that Jamaica is a part of the Latin American region. That's where we get most of our cable feed from. So I said to them, one of my children has 2 languages, which is French and Spanish, and the others have done Spanish. So I've insisted you need to be bilingual. And I'm in agreement to do, Mary.
Yeah, this is 60, most of next month, 61 years. I'm in a hurry, you know. I was always in a hurry 40, 50 years ago, but it's worse now.
Because you recognize
I just want
to leave a legacy. You want to leave a legacy. It's important that the legacy is there and people are understanding.
No, we're not doing anything. We should be, you know what I mean? You know, it come back to tourism. Why Ed Bartlett never insists all these years? He's Mr. King there, tourism. So he never insists that that's happening in the hotels all these years. And what I was saying yesterday, I called a minister of government and I put it to him about the 20 cents in every dollar, right? And he says, I'm right. I call a member. The money is not coming here.
And it's just, yeah. So the money not coming here, Mary, is them, but we can by government
because
policy.
We're not bargaining properly.
Correct.
If you're a hungry salesperson, you can't survive. You know, you have to call bluff.
Okay.
All the big awards that we get in Germany, and this is not helping the country.
Yeah, that's true.
It's not because see what I was saying about Chang and the other one there in health. No, they shouldn't be there. Chang is supposed to be in health. Maybe minister. I can't repeat myself. Anyway, I want to breathe. You understand? We are jokers. We have to be forward thinking, and it come back to what? It's Gail too. I said does. It's Dr. Herbert Gill.
Yes.
I stand to be corrected. We are afraid of people. We are afraid of people. Be honest. Honest say, it's better, I'm going to use an analogy of Jamaica. It's better you go to Pegasus or one of them hotel go drink water than T-bone steak, eat T-bone steak down Spanish Stomach Road. Because you don't know who you will meet at the Pegasus. You understand?
Correct.
It's better you live in the maid's quarters or Beverly Hills or Cherry Gardens than a mansion. You understand? We have to think big.
I am.
We are afraid of people. I can tell you that. And I said that already.
Right.
I used to travel extensively, right? And there was Martin travel service. And one evening I was at the airport and Mr. Martin was there. I went and introduced myself to him because they knew my name.
Okay.
You understand? I said, the man Biles, the governor Bank of Jamaica. I see Matt Courtley. I go talk to him. Who are they? They go to toilets like everybody else. If you don't go to toilet, then you're better than me. You understand?
All right.
You have to cut out this foolishness, man.
We must be audacious in terms of seeking the best welfare. Must be audacious in our thinking and move forward. We can't stay back. We have to move forward. I hear you, Mary.
No.
I hear you. I hear you.
There's a lot of things, right? Another thing, it might sound funny, but it's true. We need to carry ourselves better, tidy ourselves better. Call it every one of us. There's no me, myself, and I, right? Us. Yes, we have to carry ourselves better, tidy ourselves better when we are going anywhere. You understand? I went into a certain pharmacy, right? And I'm not giving the company no advertisement. I'm not calling them names, right?
Right.
Because them have the people, them and thing, the way you call it, contract.
Right,
and paying them thing there, wages. And when I talk to a minister of government, a union man, him say them can't do anything because they're on contract. And I talked to one of the managers, and him said the same thing. Learn as much as you can, or go back to school and get another job.
Correct.
Right? And I saw one of the cashier, and I said to the miss, what is your life ambition? She said to be a teacher. I said, how many subjects you have? 10. 10. And I talked to the manager for 4 of them, and they are in the office working and them not wearing uniform. We have to be, you can't be afraid of people. Mm-hmm. Yes, you understand what I mean, Pastor Percival?
You understand what I mean.
And why you bring up the pharmacy?
So what happened to the young lady? She took your ID, she took your advice and started to go back to school because there are scholarships available now.
What happened, I spoke to the manager about them, and he took them off the cashier work and put them in the office. Mm-hmm. Every now and then I see one of them, and I say, you say you wanted to be a teacher. She say yes, but she's going to do pharmacy.
Okay, wonderful. So you see how you inspire somebody by just taking an interest in them. I do that a lot of times. This is somebody, what your vision is.
You encourage them, never don't pay rent, pay mortgage.
Correct.
So we're not, so let me tell you, when I sat down in the pharmacy, I saw a man came in about 50 years or so. And he had on a pair of sandals. But his feet were so clean and his toenails well cut, clean and look good. So I spoke to him and he says, you have to keep yourself looking good. Sometimes you see some of these women and men, and you see the men, big men, is like them just get up and them have on an old pair of shorts. And them, if you ever see the toenail, them long and them just get up. Although you can cut your hair, you know what I mean?
Yeah, so
what's wrong with us?
So
you have some executives that used to work all in the bank, Barclays Bank. Let me chat it out. Them retire now, right? And if you ever see them, supposed to look good, man. Every one of us. It's a lot of things we have to change, Pastor Percy.
And I agree with you, Mary. There are things that we can change, not depending on government or leaders. There are things we can change about the situation to help ourselves. All right,
you
Mary.
have the special clothes and them things and church clothes and every day is Christmas celebrate. I want to greet Miss Joyce. She's a lady from Montego Bay.
Yes.
We don't hear from her this long time. I know she was having some situation there.
Okay.
And Miss Mervis.
Okay.
Miss Mervis. And we want lawyers. We talk, but we don't implement. We don't implement in Jamaica at all. We just talk. We want lawyers and judges and other sectors of the society to specialize in domestic violence.
Okay.
Because they don't know how to handle.
All right, Mary. All right. Thank
and
you.
I want to greet a certain lawyer, Dr. Lloyd Barnett. He's a decent man.
Constitutional lawyer.
Yes, the constitutional lawyer. I've had dealings with him when I was doing paralegal work for 10 years. And you know why I'm complimenting him? You have some people in Jamaica, although you like them and this and that, if you say anything or you know them, you mustn't come in. Dr. Lloyd Barnett did a case for last chin, my friend, a divorce case, right? And the woman was properly represented. Dr. Lloyd Barnett could have sold out the woman's case like how a lot of these QC lawyers sell out people's case. Yes. And every time last time him used to complain and say, boy, Mary, you see what them do me just like you. Right? So, I want to congratulate him this morning.
All right then, Mary. Thanks for your input.
And I might call back too.
All right
then. But I greet Miss Mervis.
All right, Miss Mary. Senora Maria. Good morning. We continue. That point of personal responsibility, that point of real change, that point of having a big vision because we were talking about it this morning. Without a vision, our people perish. You must have a vision for yourself, for your life. And remember, I have discovered in my own life that vision is what attracts the resources to you. Good morning, caller. How are you?
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Well enough. And yourself?
Yes, I'm very good, Jigsaw. How are you today?
Well enough, man.
Yes.
Surprised I get on because it's so small. It's a struggle.
This is your morning this morning.
The morning today, the rest of the crew, the team, the listeners, and in particular, Miss Minett.
Today's her birthday, you know. Today she's celebrating.
I salute her.
Yes.
And I wish her a happy journey down to the next milestone.
I agree with you.
Arrive there, that she will arrive there, well there, and wise.
Right.
And put it on notice that I'm the first customer.
I hear you, Jigsaw. So what's on your mind this morning? We've been talking about knowledge and how it impacts everything. And I don't know if you're listening to, I call him a country pastor. I'm a very good friend. He was.
I hear a little bit of it. But I'm not there this morning.
Yeah, but so what's on your mind today, Jigsaw? What's
our new constitution?
Yes.
That we need as a company.
Yes.
I'm surprised. The kingdom, RDR.
Yes.
Is not running a series of snippets from the present one.
Oh, part of the public education.
Yes, that's part of the public education where we have two printed mediums, and then RDR is in a position to put it where it can be accessed by the devices we have here. So they need to jump off on that. So we can't be talking about what we need is not recognizing what we presently have and to navigate around that.
But you know, Jigsaw, I agree with you 100% in that. And so even as we move forward, that's something that we probably can do in terms of that effort, because you're asking people to reform something and people don't even know what it is about. And so there's a thing, the Jamaica Constitution has 10 chapters in it. One, interpretation and effect, citizenship, fundamental rights and freedom, and people need to know that this was added after a long period of consultation. In it you have the Governor General Chapter 4, Parliament Chapter 5, Executive Powers Chapter 6, the Judiciary Chapter 7, Finance Chapter 8, Public Service Chapter 9, and then that's it. And if you want to amend it, there's a chapter on amendment. So what you have said is very important. So there are 10 chapters to our Constitution, and probably in a way we should just highlight it, speak about it, because then people understand.
Well, we need to familiarize ourselves
with it. Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
To accurately speak on it.
Right.
Or have relevant questions.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And then by getting those questions answered when we're thinking it out, we put yourself in a position to make a demand on the system for those who are attempting to put the thing together.
Because even as it speak about constitutional reform, it means like that chapter 4 going go. Why? Because the chapter is about the Governor General. The Governor General under chapter 4, the Governor General is given authority as a representative of Her Majesty the Queen
Yeah, I don't know. The mono.
Yes, yes.
Not about the individual, you know.
Yes.
It's a firm out there, you know. Sometimes referred to as a firm. It's a monarchy, which is a body of them that functions to deal with the realm. So, you know.
It's interesting.
But,
it is so interesting. So, thank you for that. I'm going to do it.
What about these 6 terms we were promised some years ago?
The what? The what?
6 terms for leaders.
Oh, there.
What about that?
That is a question, because that was an election promise.
No, man, give me.
You must be kind, my friend. You must be kind. You think it was a gimmick?
No, man. Hey, the truth don't draw kindness sometimes. You know?
It's very brutal a lot of times.
And by the way, I'm trying to organize casualties. What happened to this link man thing that was promised? That was another promise, you know, I set up a link man thing to deal with the maintenance of the roadways.
No, that has been it was something that was there before. As I remember, as a youngster, O.D. Ramtali.
It's public work.
Yeah, O.D. Ramtali. God bless
and it worked very well.
Yeah, because now what the link man, know what you have it, if you drive early in the morning through different communities, you see people cleaning different areas of the road, like they have been assigned an area to keep clean, and that is there. So I don't know if that is what it has evolved into.
We talk about the maintenance of the roadway, not just dealing with garbage.
Okay.
The maintenance of the roadway. And the most important part of it, have it been built adequately? Okay. It's the drainage.
Right.
Drainage.
To keep the drainage clean so water doesn't back up and flow to the... Yeah.
But what you have now is building taking place and all kinds of different activity that is blocking the drain away from the amount of rubbish we are allowed to wear and table we are allowed to wash down in it. So, you know where I can go to get some of the work, the link man work. There's a program.
You're talking about a ghost program. A ghost program.
Oh, well, I'm talking to the right man. You can't have the ghost.
Oh, my Lord. Jigsaw, you need to behave yourself, you know.
No, I've always been told from when I was there in short ones that I'm a naughty boy.
All right.
Man, told me to class, told me to school.
Oh, jeez. You are you know the person, Jigsaw, you know the person who them now in the shorter class and forgive is the person who think out of the box. Those are the persons who are the innovators who say, but why we can't do it this way? Why we have to do it this way all the time? Yes.
Let me give you a story. When I was at school,
yes,
they did decimal.
Yes, right.
No other name for it.
Fractions. Decimals, fractions. Fractions.
No, decimal.
Mm-hmm.
It's our another name.
I'm thinking, but go ahead, tell the story, cause it's
imperial versus.
Oh, you mean imperial versus decimal? You mean when we go to the decimal system? I know what you're talking about. We have converted to it. Yeah.
Decimal is not the right word. That's a basic, but decimal is basic.
Mm-hmm.
However, they taught me that.
Right.
But we were using that as the principal tool to do the teaching.
Okay.
They just exposure.
Mm-hmm.
So once I got exposure to this, when they put the fractals on the board, and I asked you to do the thing, we abandoned that and just use decimal.
That was easier to use.
I found it just very easy to just move the decimal point left or right or whatever.
Okay.
And and got the exercise done in minimum time.
Okay.
And I brought the answer. And me and the teacher normally catch up because they have the answer right. But we can't explain it, the 5, 6, 7 manipulation that you have to go through with practice to get it.
Okay.
Long division.
Yes. I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, well, so the teacher usually catch up. The teacher, that's the answer there. There's something new. So, that's the name right there.
Yeah.
Right.
But you know, Rick, as you were speaking, the whole thing of thinking out of the box, in terms of how we're gonna really do real constitutional reform, and that idea that you have. So next week, the JS has a version where it's the Constitution in summary. I'm gonna expose people to it so they know what is there. So we will follow that up, but as you say, we have to come up with the solutions ourselves. Yeah.
I know of 2 times in the past, that the Guinea carried snippet of it.
Yes.
Over a number of weeks. They used to put this on the Guinea and read it.
Right.
But although I kept my name for a little while, that's a long time ago. This color.
But it's it's an excellent suggestion, excellent opportunity for us to really educate our people. Put it online wherever it needs to go, so people really know when they say they are doing this constitutional reform what is it. But Jigsaw, thanks very much. As we go to our 9 o'clock break. There's all right, Jigsaw. Yeah. As we go, before you go to the break, somebody again, West Indies cricket is on decline. We spoke about languages. My point in terms of saying being bilingual, Taki Online says, why not Swahili, which is now the major language spoken in Africa? Why not promote these two? That's a point. And then, that's an interesting point as we go back to Africa. And then what has happened in regards to this restocking of the Rio Kobe? Some people balling sabotage because a lot of fish have died. Probably is a methodology. It's our 9 o'clock break. As we come back, we continue to speak to the issues of that day.
You're simply the best. Better than all the rest. Better than anyone. Anyone I've ever met. You're simply the best.
Bess FM 100 on your dial. Keep listening.
We're just a click away. www.bestfm.com. Streaming live on the internet.
Hello. Pastor Howard Palmer here, coming to you from New York City this and every Saturday morning, 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. That's right, 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. this and every Saturday morning, right here on Best 100 FM. Don't you miss it.
Vejan Printers for all your printing needs. We specialize in calendars, flyers, brochures, and more. Call us today at 968-7506. That's 968-7506. Or visit us at 4 East Bloomsbury Road, off Hagley Park Road. Vejan Printers, your best choice in printing.
Having trouble getting parts for your Mazda? Maljam Auto Parts is your solution. Find Maljam at the new and convenient location off Upper Walton Park Road at 9 Kingswood Avenue. Maljam Auto Parts, with over 25 years experience, providing all Mazda parts, new and used. Call 923-4389 and 461-1786. Maljam Auto Parts, serving your Mazda needs.
Do you remember, Jolo?
Yeah, man.
Well, guess what? I allow it 4 to 6 every Friday.
Boom shot.
And Best 100 FM.
Boom shot.
You ready?
Yeah, man.
You ready?
Yeah, man.
Well, I eat that. I love it. Which part today? Tune in, beloved people. We're there for it. Bless you.
Best FM. Pow!
And love more, 'cause you open up the door.
Live, camera, volume. Live it up Fridays on Bess 100 FM. 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. with I, Ibi Lion, each and every Friday. Giving you the better vibes, heard everywhere.
The Morning Connection is not your usual talk show. We aim to stimulate discussion and chart new paths to self-empowerment. So please join us, Minett and Percy, on The Morning Connection, Mondays to Thursdays, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Bess 100 FM.
It's good, it's better, but nothing beats.
You know, Taki has been saying something online, but even what Jigsaw was saying, that even as we continue on this constitutional reform program, one public service that the media could do, the Gleaner, the Observer, even the government, is to remind us of what is in the Constitution says. And I just went online and I discovered that the GIS has a very contracted version of the Constitution in terms of what the main elements are. And so we're going to do that, our own public service in terms of this thing. Good morning, caller. How are you? Good morning, caller. How are you?
Percy.
Good morning, sir. How are you today, Barry?
Well, not too bad, coming up and about, you know.
Wonderful.
Yeah, man. No, I say, big up to all callers and listeners worldwide. And
yes.
One, equal rights and justice to all. One God. One destiny and one equal rights to all nation. I want to say, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Miss Minett. Happy birthday to you. Hip, hip.
Hooray.
Hip, hip.
Hooray.
Hip, hip.
Hooray.
Right.
Yeah, man. She's picking it up, and I'm sure she's listening to the program where she's at. Because yesterday she WhatsApped me and was telling me, hey, I'm hearing you.
Yeah, man. Yes, because you don't go to see how you top principal in the school. You get me, so.
Yeah, man.
That's a big up, you know.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
But
that's a big up, you know, so.
But yesterday, Barry, yesterday you raised some important points about the MP and what they need to do in I had us laughing yesterday when you say you can be a fisherman and I do engineer work.
Yeah. Can't hear me now. I don't always say maybe I prefer every person who are holding ministry know of the profession where I'm going. You understand?
Oh yeah.
Because you know when they don't know what they're doing, you know. Remember say we have 2-3 advisors, you know.
Right.
When I listen me again, when the advisors make a mistake, them don't know say it's a mistake because them don't know. You get me? So them supposed to have an idea, you have to have some experience. Away a minister over. You understand?
That's true.
And the next thing we don't like again, we need to change. You see this reshuffling up, you go over there, so you come over here, so and it still not make no change.
Yes.
In the new constitution, we have put a person there who qualified to do the job, right? And we are having panel scrutiny, like every year we're supposed to see the upliftment we might do, or the progress we might do in our community. And if you're not sure with that, sooner or later we have to get rid of him. We can just have one person function over this side, put him over there, so put him over there. So it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
You know?
Because one of the things which has been a source of contention, these 7 aspects of public life, and one of them is accountability, that the the opposition has signed to, but the government members have not signed to. You're accountable for your action beyond integrity and selflessness and leadership and so on. One of the things is being held accountable for your actions, which some people have said that in the new constitution, the whole thing in regards to impeachment, if somebody mess up and can be proven that it is so, then you must have the vehicle for recall. You can't say, no man, you step back, you leave that alone. It's bigger than you.
Yeah, man, they have to make sure the accountability is there, because at the end of the day, if you hire a man in your factory in the place and in uplift, in management or in foremanship, then you have to let with him and put somebody who capable,
True, yeah.
Yeah, man, and the thing is, these politicians that teach us, Carl, listen me now. You see, when them in our opposition, they have all the
answers.
Right. They have all the answers to the question. I just when they go in at the same thing, because it's a place where people go enrich themselves. See, so listen me now. Every human being born from a woman have a selfish instinct.
Inclination.
The two bull can raise in a 110. Right, or two lion of different tribe can stay in a 110 because a fight to the death. Right, so human beings have that tendency. So under the new constitution, we have laws, draconian laws, which to a man say, when we put you as a president or a big official in a certain office, and you mess up and remove freedom, a straight prison. We have to set that example because, as I say, all the way, even me right now, and if me should have done a government, I'm a thief money, and I'm go to prison. We will continue to do it because it's an easy way out. You get me?
Well, there's no consequence to the action. That's what you're saying.
Right. So we have draconian law, tough law, of this woman say. If I was put in a this position, and at the country's revenue, you head over like Mr. Clark. Take it out of your own business, a still business. So now you have the account where you do. You can't take money and dash you. Look at the other day when them take how many millions with something over the thing there.
You mean Samuda and what? The grass?
No man, the woman did come in and the cemetery did
Oh, you mean the caper? The Commonwealth caper?
Right. Look how much money they dash there. So I remember say the lady who did it, tell them long before they even get involved, I say, no, bother with it because I have everything like already, can't win me. I still look how much millions they go through it. Then the millions should have put in the health system of Jamaica.
Yeah, but
you know what the thing hurt me most of all.
But Barry, hold a second, because we must be careful, because even with what happened with her, it was people who used their private money to sponsor it, You remember that? Yeah, private. And the guy Rattigan has brought a lawsuit to say you need to identify. First there were 3, I think 4 more have been identified out of the suit. And this is somebody out of the diaspora, I think his name is Rattigan, who brought us a suit to say that So he has done that, and people say him have no standing, but it looks like that case may be proceeding. But again, as you have pointed out, it is so important that when we are doing these things, we really consider long and hard before we go off on these different things, because and then now with Commonwealth, the Commonwealth supporting 50 years in the cartoon, in the opinion pages, we affirm Jamaica's commitment to continue working within CARICOM. That's Miss Johnson's, the cartoon. Talk the truth. You must feel a way like how you never win the CARICOM Secretary General post. And I'm saying, because people said to her, why are we doing this? And people said it was something that Mr. Johnson pushed, because a lady who is now CARICOM Secretary General who is now Commonwealth Secretary General, was talking hard about reparations and so on, and they never like that. So
but you want to pass is a trick, Boris Johnson send in delegate them come down the country come and the whole is and them to get in with Rwanda they say
Okay.
Is that trick? Boris Johnson set up it. Because Boris Johnson didn't want to get rid of the lady, but he make up with Jamaica now as a little puppet. Figure the figure on them time. You know, when it couldn't work out. All right, look what even happened in Rwanda, With how England, me have a warning to Jamaicans then. When Jamaicans I go to England now, and chance to go run off and say, no, but we because go end up in a Rwanda, in a some refugee camp in a Rwanda, because that England
Rwanda is prospering, According to what? No, Rwanda is prospering as a country. They have come back from the genocide that happened. That I didn't even know of a Jamaican person who is thinking of migrating to Rwanda with the opportunities that are there. Because there's another thing with the Rwanda question, which England has worked out some thing with them where they will take the people, deportees there. But then it has gone to the Court of Appeals and they have thrown it out and said it can't work. People they've recognized. That's a latest turn that this arrangement with Rwanda, somebody tested in the court and they have said no. The court, in essence, the court said no. The scheme is not right.
Yes, it's not clear. Yes, it's not right.
Right. So.
But we don't come on and show you the type of wickedness where England, where at them are with master, the Governor General, and them they play to any government. Right? We don't going to show you type of wickedness because if a man in your country, come in your country, you're not supposed to send him go to next country in a refugee camp. You're supposed to at least send him back in the country. You know?
Yeah.
So where is the human rights to them people? No matter shoot say well them are run from poverty and poorness. You understand? Everybody not like so. Your country more prosperous them go there. So you will still treat them as human beings. You get me?
Yeah. But the question, Barry, as we try to get another caller in. The empire became rich from the colonies. A lot of what they are now is because of what. When sugar was king, or now you see in Africa with a lot of the minerals, like if you go South Africa and you buck up on a diamond, it belongs to a company that is not
African.
Is a country out of Dutch. So all of them laws need for change. So that's one of the things that's happening to us. But yeah, Barry. So that's where we are at.
Yeah, man. So we just go and chill and listen.
All right. Good.
Yeah, man. So big up to our callers and listeners. Santa Cruz massive, Akil massive. Big up on yourself.
All right then.
Yeah, man. Blessings, Pastor. Blessings.
So knowledge is poor. Asking a question. Do you agree that we as a people should be all critical thinkers and ask yes. That when people come and put something on the table, we need to be saying no thing. So when we're starting to ask questions, you're getting pushback from leaders. They say this is how it must go. And we say, no, what about this, that? Because Jamaicans are not fools. And we are very intelligent people. Good morning, caller. Welcome.
Reverend.
Good morning, African. What's up today? What's on your mind? Yes. Go on. I'm listening. Tell me.
Yeah, some people join from the United Nations and Jamaica. Official them turn night. And then supposed to have different reparation for the Africans them in Jamaica. Them gone join the United Nations now.
From Jamaicans? Or what?
Yes, sir.
Talk some more. I don't know this one because some of the time some things miss me. So you said Jamaicans have gone to the UN? And
United Nations.
Yes.
Them are full member of the United Nations now. And then they are them a different reparation for black people.
Who are those people?
I know the United Nations are different reparation for black people. The same would have put it in them thing for a long time.
Okay. Because you know there is a CARICOM Reparations Commission. You know about that, right?
The people, them what they deal with that,
Yes.
them gone from the United Nations now.
Okay.
So you're not going to hear that I talk about much again.
Okay.
And as I said a while ago, the lady where go run for the thing there.
Mm-hmm.
Go run against the woman there. Where Johnson I like when she talk about reparation, you know.
Yeah, well.
When I try to dispose of her, so I come to Jamaica. But the government of Jamaica, them not talk about no reparation. Them like them.
Oh, so you mean? Okay.
Mm.
Yeah, but those who are interested, there is the Caribbean Reparations Commission.
Who's those people?
It's people from CARICOM from all over, because the Prime Minister's, there's a 10-point action plan which outlines the path to reconciliation, truth, justice for the victims of slaveries and
You
their
ever see that
dependents.
planet?
Well, it's on the website in African.
You ever see it?
No, I've not seen it, but I can look at it at the website, because they...
I think it's good for you to look on it and see what them have on it, yeah?
Okay, so you have explored it. So what you don't like about it?
The only recognized group on it is the LGB.
Interesting.
No other recognized group not on it.
Okay.
So, you know where that gone.
Wow.
We not going to get the money there again. The money there for the LGB them.
I'll have to... I can't comment on it, but I will check it out and talk to it. Anything else you want?
They have an advertisement on the TV now.
Mm-hmm.
When they support AIDS for life.
Right.
How you do that?
It's a support AIDS for life, which is support people who have been HIV, the disease, and what it is. Is an advert.
Who have the disease now can't show nobody to them have it, Reverend? What kind of advertisement is that? Support AIDS for life. Eh? The Minister of Health.
Uh-huh.
Because the people them down here kind of sickness attack the people them down here, you hear nothing about that.
No, but hold on, Africa. No, of a truth to the minister, sent something in Parliament yesterday. The non-NCDs, the non-communicable disease, where they have recently allocated some funding to run Know Your Numbers, which is your blood pressure.
Reverend.
Yes. So they have launched that in Parliament, where the parliamentarians will have funding to promote it, put in healthing, working with regional health authorities, so they can know what is happening with people. Because if you don't know, you can't fix the problem. So a very important part of fixing any problem is knowing what the information is, using the data so you can properly plan, which is what we've been talking about since morning.
The data used long time, and them know all of who's sick and all of what them have. But the something them have to put in place to get the people them better, that can't come.
Why? Why you think it's not happening?
Because them don't have any money to do it.
Oh, I see.
The testing machine them.
Yes.
Them not so them not have money to buy them, Reverend.
Who said that? That's what the Minister of Health has said.
So why not in there, Reverend?
I couldn't answer that. Probably somebody from the Ministry of Health can come and answer that question for you, African. And the line
remember
is
one
open.
time?
Yes.
You remember the DJ?
Mm-hmm.
You remember the entertainer what is keep the something over Gigi? And Gigi tell him to say no one to keep them more over there.
You're talking about Shaggy, King's House, and raising money for the hospital.
You remember the Alabalu to get that money to buy certain things to the hospital?
Yeah, because when Shaggy started it, and if you follow the history, he requested the funds to do something specific. When the funds are raised, they are saying, can you shift it to someplace else? And he said, no, but I can't do that. we started with an intention in mind, and if we're gonna shift that, the money is all there.
Somebody did a try to snipe now the money.
Right, and he said no. And him saying not going to do it. Yeah.
He's not getting himself involved in a corruption.
Right. So he says, come with a proper plan, because there was something in the press. I remember we spoke about it.
And no proper plan to come with.
No, man, recently they made a shift that was in the papers where they were given the funds to deal with something in terms of the intensive care wing beds that was there. So they've come to a compromise or come to a solution with that. That was in the papers, African. That was in the papers.
I don't hear it.
It was in the papers. That's what I'm telling you. So
I don't hear it, Reverend.
Okay.
One more thing now, Reverend.
Yeah.
You see the plastic bottle them?
You talk about it yesterday.
Yes, Reverend. I'm going to see no movement to go and tell panic. Me talk about it yesterday, I don't say nothing about it. So what? We should just sit down and nothing about it.
No.
And we know the problem. The fish them and them are for the plastic bottle, you know. And those fish are go back to the people them stuck there, you know. Yeah. And it can kill them, you know. You know what I do them?
With that has been a complaint, because what now is happening to us, and there's a lot of research that is going on.
Research now go on, Reverend.
No.
We don't spend no money in our research and development.
Hold, stop.
No money we don't spend.
African, listen. I'm saying to you, it's not only in Jamaica, but internationally.
But at Jamaica, me attack, Reverend.
Yeah, but
Jamaica, me attack.
No, but hold on.
We want the government to spend money in our research and development.
Yeah, but that is a different thing, African. But you raise a hold on, no man. We are having a dialogue, you know. You raise something. I'm saying there's international research that has proven that a lot of the plastics and thing is getting back into the ecosystem, and there's a chain that flows that begins ultimately affect us as human beings. And that is why the point you have made in terms of properly dealing with the waste in terms of the plastic and things need to be done. I remember what I said to you yesterday. You highlighted the point, and I says it's a good point, but it's a two-pronged approach. One, we have to stop littering and dirtying up the place as individuals in our communities, and secondly, the government, I was saying, has to incentivize this recycling, that people see there is something in it for them. Because most people operate off a principle. It says, what is in it for me? So that's what you have to do. Are we in agreement? We are in agreement about that in African. You know that. And yes, it is something that, from a policy perspective, we have to do that, because we are drowning in the sea of waste of plastic bottles round the coast. If you go in the mangroves and see it.
We have to take cautions, you know.
Yes.
No more.
Yeah.
Those we get, we already there.
Yeah.
Or we have to clean up those.
Aye. That is the question that we need to answer. But African, you raised it. We know that a lot of people are listening. And I am declaring in short order, we will see even major change in terms of policy in regards to that. Yes?
Reverend, yes, sir. We know. Do something about them plastic bottles that we have around the ocean and all boats in our draining. Some sickness and some disease going block out around them, and I'm not telling a lie, man. You watch and see, yeah?
All right.
This thanks, Reverend.
Blessings.
You look Miss Minett up our earth strong, you know.
All right. I'll pass it on to you for her.
I hope she double stronger, yeah?
Man, she coming back stronger and better.
Give thanks, Reverend.
All right, blessing, African. That is an important thing. I think, and I believe that some of the things we raise, get another caller as we come up to that, right? Good morning, caller. How are you?
Pastor Percy, it's me again. Just give me a minute.
Yes, Mary.
Pastor Percy, there's a lady named Nikki, right?
apply for the grant.
She was down at the station when we gathered down there, right?
Yes.
She's a small, no, I mustn't say small, right?
She's an entrepreneur.
She has a business. The other night I was listening to a program, you see, and this is what I want to get across to other people. And a lady says she has a small business. You know, the moderator said to her, you ever hear any businessman out there? They hear Gazanas and say him have a small business. You know what I mean? We have to think big. Remember yesterday morning I said if you go to a supermarket, don't think of buying things in the supermarket. You want a supermarket. If you go to a car mart to buy a car, you don't want one car, you want a car mart. You understand? And Nikki has this business, right? I've had some of her products. They are well packaged, right? Label could go in Harrods, any store, any part of the world.
What is our product? What is our
there's
product?
a brand going for $250,000. She wants to put up something, a building on top of the family home. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Just to get something like that. And she's getting the runaround, and it is from our same people.
So it's a grant she's getting from which ministry? Which ministry? Ministry of Labor and Social Welfare? Which one? Where she getting the grant
I don't know which place she getting it from, right? And people don't want to come forward and talk, right? And she's getting the runaround till she's fed up. $250,000 is a lot of money in one sense. But in another sense, it's not a lot of money. And it happens all the while. It's not the first time. Once she was supposed to get a big mix-up for $90,000. And it's our same people keeping us down. Our same people.
Yeah, so...
There are grants there. And the woman can't get it that she's fed up.
Mary, what you going to do? Just WhatsApp the lady information. I will see if probably she's not approaching it the right way, because some of the times I know, having had to apply for grants for different people, there's a way to go about it, and some things they require from you, which is just standard, and we just have to have the knowledge in order to get over the problem. So send it to me.
Some of it is standard, but some of them, they just give you the runaround.
I know, and I agree with you. And I agree with you.
Down at the NIS, people not getting their money still.
Okay.
They're not getting their money. Pinch it. Somebody, you owe them, NIS must owe you for 3 months. And when you leave all the way and go down there out of $7,000 or $8,000 to pay taxi fare, and you hear come back next month, what kind of living that? They might give just for them pay the Prime Minister piece. From last year, August, one woman, they still owe her for a month. What sort of living that?
All right.
And even this thing on reverse mortgage. I thought when you people got them two women, you go to the head of the stream. I thought you people were going to talk to the man Jarrett.
But we went to, but he sent that person made the request.
We don't want the staff, the little miss there. We want Mr. Jarrett, Earl Jarrett. And it's time now. If the mountain can't come to us, we go to call, put it out there. But you want to talk to the Prime Minister and the Minister of Finance. All know the people them not get them $25,000 stimulus, the taxi driver and the beauticians and so. And some people them still owe the 10,000. That Minister of Finance is a joker, you know. It's only him alone to live. The same constituency with all the big potholes that you can.
Yep.
We're just a click away. www.bestfm.com. Streaming live on the internet.
Jamaica and the world. You want us back? We are back. The Breakthrough Deliverance Ministry, led by me, the Prophet Mark Stewart, right here on Best 100 FM. This and every Thursday night from 9 p.m. to 12 midnight. Yes, it's War Room Thursday. Come on out and join us, each and every one, on Best 100 FM, 100.1, 3, 5, 7, and 9. Come on out. Join me, the prophet, Reverend Mark Stewart, and of course, the boss shot, Apostle Marshall. Come for your healing, breakthrough, deliverance, the prayer, the miracle, the word, the testimony, and so much more. Yes, my friends, Best 100 FM, Best 100 FM, War Room Thursday, 9 p.m. to 12 midnight. Join us. We are going to lick it.
Ready for the warfare. Ready for the warfare.
Miss Wire. Greetings. I go by the name of Miss Wire Waist. Catch me on Bess 100. I will be discovering the greatness of Jamaica and Jamaicans through people, places, and things home and abroad. Playing you some good music along with interviewing artists, soundmen, producers, and Jamaicans making a difference all over the world. So catch me between the hours of 10 a.m. till 2 p.m. Monday to Thursday on Bess 100 FM. One love.
I saw you stepping from across the street, smiling happily with everyone you meet.
For a better choice in all your electrical supplies, A, authorized 3M dealer and better brand names. B, better service including free island-wide delivery. C, all major credit and debit cards accepted. It's ABC Electrical Sales. Shop number 8, Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10. Open Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Saturday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. We make your electrical jobs as easy as ABC. Call 754-3825-8 or fax 754-3659. ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice.
Half a tree, 100, half a tree. Bossy, how we do I take taxi star?
Jano, I want to tell you, say, 2 months now, my transmission mash up, and me check everybody and can't hear nothing positive.
Yeah, hear me? Yeah, waste all that time I shop around and never call the experts. Winters Auto have them. Them have over 35 years of experience and them diagnose the problem and get back your transmission brand new. For them service excellent and efficient. Trust me, man. Yeah, hear me? Call them at 929-7040 or go to them at 106 Maxfield Avenue, Kingston 13 and talk directly to the boss. Just tell them I'm me, send you.
You big star. Yeah, man, respect my boss.
Yeah, try and call it, cause trust me.
Waiters Auto Spares and Repairs, good afternoon.
What a relief.
Ew, baby, you sick? Drink this.
Strong back tonic wine. But baby, you look like you want to sort out.
You think that's all Trang back good for? This delicious tonic wine has natural ingredients like Busy, Medina, Moringa, and more to strengthen your body so you can fight off anything, including viruses, where it sound like you catch. Available island-wide, all foreign. Order at 749-1286 option 1 or IG Trangback TW. Trangback.
Straighten your back for me.
Best 100 FM is the authentic voice of Jamaica, promoting your prosperity with better vibes and better music. Let us promote your goods and services for you. Advertise with us. For more information, call our office at 876-276-8935. That's 276-8935.
The Morning Connection is not your usual talk show. We aim to stimulate discussion and chart new paths to self-empowerment. So please join us, Minett and Percy, on The Morning Connection, Mondays to Thursdays, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Best 100 FM.
It's good.
And Percy on The Morning Connection, Mondays to Thursdays, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Best 100 FM.
It's good. It's better, but nothing beats.
Good morning, welcome back. Thank you, caller, for holding.
Good morning, Pastor.
Good morning, Cruz. How are you today?
And happy birthday to Sister Minett.
Yes, man. She hearing it.
But I have a love-hate relationship with her,
I wonder why. She's a loving person, and you're a loving person. So why would you have a love?
No, what I'm saying, I love her and I hate her. But why I hate her is that she go to Ligani every Thursday. And she's not here, so you will be in the station and I can call.
When
Okay.
she,
I really know. Yeah,
I
but,
can't do it without her. But if she's not here, Legani won't be in the picture.
okay, well, that's true.
But I want her back, man. We need her. She have a nice voice and things. And
She's soon come back, but we out for 2 weeks, so.
2 weeks.
Yeah, man.
So no Legani then.
No Legani. So we'll be here next week, but I have some guests lined up for next week already. Gonna have some earth-shattering news as we look at what's happening.
So, Pastor, like how you're alone, you can find somebody to come in with you, like your wife. What happened to your wife? She
My wife working, My wife working. My wife is at work as she needs. As we
even
speak.
for half an hour.
Oh my Lord! And my wife don't like the public scrutiny. So, she's in the background person, but she's a very powerful woman.
I noticed the government asking people to bear with them for the hospital, say it overload with a patient. They're trying to sue us into believing that the teacher is not going away. They find all kind of PR and excuse so the people don't get mad at them.
Remember my friend, the country pastor, you'll get to meet him, says, when you do public relations, you deny, you deflect, and then you destroy. So you deny that what is happening. But the reality, people on the ground feeling it. It's like with inflation. Inflation going down. But you go into a thing like a tin of milk. The tin of milk, I remember 200 in recent time was 200 and something, and a tin of milk is $400 now. What is happening?
Pastor, I do bad work.
Yes.
I bought a gallon of filler, I think it was 3 weeks ago.
Yes.
And it was almost $400.
Yes.
I buy one last week and it was 509. No, 5,000. I mean, 5,900 at the same body filler.
So how much it was before? $4,000? 4,000?
Almost 4,000.
Yeah, I know it gone to 5,000.
5,900.
So I'm to the poor man with job you do, because you tell him I costing already in a cruise. And then to go back and say, well, me tell you that still. And say, you're a thief, You tell me this, I know you're trying to thief some more money from me. Huh?
So things is just raising and you don't know. You just go and buy it and that's it. The reason you have to buy it.
Yeah, and that is unfortunate because for people who are fixed income, and it's the same thing you get, even the teachers, the doctors, the nurses, everybody who recently would have benefited from this compensation.
Yeah, a lot of teachers going to leave. This won't be in the class September. I'm sure about that.
Yeah, that's what you're hearing? What you're hearing on the ground?
No, but I know that. I have a friend. His wife went to England to teach, and she came back. She went to the States.
Yeah.
She's so qualified that she teach in England. No, she's in the States teaching. And those are qualified teachers, not some new teacher coming out that just think about their pay. Those are seasoned teachers that love their children.
Yeah.
And they have to leave. Leave in.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, because if you're listening earlier, I interact with a lot of teachers and members in our congregation, and one was in tears. She said, boy, it did not work out. I have to look about my mother on my seat and look about medical care and things. No, it don't make no.
By the way, Miss Thompson was saying something about Spanish in school. When I was going to school, 71, 72, my average in Spanish was 80%. Because I used to teach it in primary.
So why they stop teaching it?
I don't know if they stop or they're still doing it, but back then I used to do Spanish in school. I could count from 1 to 100. I know a lot about Spanish. And they used to have it on the TV, at the class. And I can count, right now I only can count from 1 to 5 in Spanish. I didn't continue to use it.
Yeah, you lose it. If you don't use it, you lose it.
If you don't use it, you lose it.
Yeah.
So the Spanish is important, but we need to get more good teachers in the classroom.
I want to ask you something, Cruz, about teachers, do you think that when the experienced teachers leave out of the classroom and the younger ones come in, that we're losing something with the experienced teachers?
Yes, we're losing a lot because the patient that the experienced teacher have and what she know, the young teacher don't have that.
Okay.
The young teacher don't have that. And most young teachers I see nowadays, it seems like it's just a paid one. They just go learn a skill to get paid.
So they're not passionate about it. Like
no, they're not passionate about it. Young people want their money. No, they need it. When you get older, you change. So
you recognize the minds that you are changing and influencing, because those teachers, somebody was saying to me that when you lose the experienced teachers, those who have the principles and they stand for certain principles, when you come out of it and these younger people, as you said, have not standing for anything, you lose that out of the system. Is that true?
Yeah, it's the truth. You lose it when the seasoned teacher leave.
So do you think that we are going to suffer as a nation with this loss of these experienced teachers? I think it's a plan, a coordinated thing to frustrate them.
I think so, because right now, look at the maths. The maths that they're giving the kids now. I don't see where it make any sense for mathematics.
Like what you call the new maths, because I have had to cope with it with my son. What do you mean? The beyond the adding and the division and things? And
yes, some of them, what purpose does it serve? Some of the maths I see my son getting.
Like
I don't see the purpose to it serve.
Like what? Tell me one of the things you see him come home with and then you not see no sense in that.
Alright. Maybe I can't explain it to you right now, but back in my days, the maths were different from now. Completely different. The maths where we used to get a teacher to add, take away, multiply. Some of these maths can't compare to those.
Okay, well, you have to expert a bit more now, because your knowledge is expanding, knowledge is increasing. They say it increases, trying to remember the proportion, but it increases like every month, the amount of knowledge that is out there. And then with the fact with computers and things, but they have to learn it, but we have to empower ourselves to learn what it is so we can help them at home.
Well, I hope the day no come when computer crash, or the whole system crash when they teach it.
All right, Cruz. As Cruz said that, have you ever, at the end of a month, been told that your pay is in the bank and you go to the ATM or wherever and all of the ATMs not working, and you see this queue line of frustrated people? Welcome, caller. You are the last person for today. How are you?
No, sorry, I'm not any killing.
Yes.
The method that I can call the world is metric.
Metric versus imperial system. Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's a metric. Yeah.
Measurement and calculation.
Yeah, but we have gone metric, Jigsaw.
Oh, years ago, I know that, man. I used to have a term time with the Americans dealing with them because we had gone metric in the 80s, early 90s, and we were still going through this class and price. If you look at the stock exchange now, they're still using fractions.
but America is still, you have US, that's what they use. They're not gone metric. Europe has gone metric. Most of the world has gone metric. Yeah, but US still have US gallons. So some of the times you buy things and they say, oh, it is in US gallons. Because imperial gallon is more than a US gallon. You know that, right?
Yeah, man. Primary school, right? The metric versus the imperial. easier to handle because move the decimal point.
Right.
Or, whatever, and you have the calculation done.
Yeah, that's what happened with the metric. It's just it's based in units of 10. So it's easier to work with. Yeah.
You just add another, you multiply. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
But that's not.
But,
go ahead.
language.
Yes.
Language. I hear someone, other speakers saying that we should be bilingual. But I think in the minimum, we should be trilingual.
Yeah, Patois English and another language.
Mother tongue.
Okay.
Mother, belly tongue.
Yes.
Right? And we should use some of that to start off the children.
Okay.
So they get the concept, and then you ship it to standard English.
Right.
Right? And then we need some Spanish in the middle of Spanish speaking area.
Region, in Latin America, yeah.
And I think it's either the second or third most language worldwide.
Yeah. In terms of population, yeah.
Yeah, man. So we need to get there. We easy. If you go down the island, people down there talking five different languages, talking from one to the other, like the thing in a tongue.
Right.
The average person down there on the street, they'll see 3, 4, 5 languages. Yeah.
That's part of it. All right, Jigsaw, thanks for that. It's a metric versus imperial. Yes, we've had a very interesting morning. This is our Friday. Today is Thursday. We don't come into studio tomorrow, but knowledge, for lack of knowledge, people will perish. Lack of knowledge is lack of knowledge causes people to perish. So we need to become empowered through our pursuit of knowledge, which is information, but knowledge can cause you to make good or bad decisions. There's something that they call institutional knowledge, and as we reflect on what's happening in the house with the lady who is the Speaker of the House, Ms. Dalrymple, saying that there are some reports that have come from the Auditor General, which is not tabling, based on Section 30 of the Financial Audit Act. I think that's what it is. But people have said, no, she is taking a wrong interpretation of it. But then again, the Integrity Commission has tabled 6 reports. We spoke about it last week, Thursday. I think one has been tabled, but the others have not come up as yet, because the Integrity Commission has highlighted what is their procedure of sending documents to Parliament. We spoke about the whole gag order, that they become a part, one of the things that are a commission of Parliament like the DPP, because they've do a wonderful job for us in terms of safeguarding this whole thing of corruption. Michael has pointed out to the fact that we really need to be changing our culture. And he highlighted this morning for us honesty, reverence for life, justice, equity, productivity needs to be new values that will move us forward as we seek to build Jamaica the empire. And he spoke to the constitution arrangement and the education system that we have. Remember, the education system was set up originally to build empire and to provide persons as slaves for empire, because they considered us as chattel slaves, even though we were removed from slavery, emancipated from 1838 when full emancipation came. That is why, as we look forward to celebrating Emancipation Day on August 1, and we celebrate Independence Day on August 6, we have to stop and take note of all the things and how we need to change. Some good things have happened, but what can we say? Next week, we're going to continue to focus on education, what is happening in our education system come September. The signs are there. Signs are there. Whatever Ms. Williams might be saying in terms of denying Mr. Morgan or distracting or seeking to destroy the bearer of the news, we have to, as Jamaicans, begin to say, no, education is important, because a well-educated country is a prosperous country. The studies have been done all over the world, and we have examples that are in front of us. Let's educate our people. Let us decide once and for all that what needs to be done in education, we will do it, because we are not only thinking about ourselves, we are thinking about the generations to come. We have our track and field championship as they prepare for the World Championship in Budapest. There's a Commonwealth Youth Games that are happening that they're seeking to go after. There is the Pan American Under 20 and the NACAC. So very important championship, and we'll see what happens. Have a good week, and see you back on Monday as we continue to speak about our nation and real solution. Bless you, walk good, and don't buck your toe.
People, solidarity, solidarity. Oh, everybody wants the same thing, don't they? Everybody wants a happy end. They want to see the game on Saturday. They want to be somebody's friend. Everybody want to work for a living. Everybody want their children warm. Everybody wants to be forgiven. They want a shelter from the storm. Look at me, I ain't your enemy. We walk on common ground. We don't need to fight each other. What we need, solidarity. Oh, solidarity. Solidarity. Oh, yeah. Solidarity. Nobody likes to ask for money. Nobody likes to play the clown. Nobody likes to wait in a long line. Nobody likes being pushed around. Everybody wants a family protected. They want to express themselves. Everybody wants to live forever. Look at me, I ain't your enemy. Don't believe everything you hear. This is no time to fight each other. What we need, solidarity, solidarity, oh, solidarity, solidarity, oh yeah, solidarity, 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 oh, solidarity, solidarity. Hey people, everybody wants the same thing, don't they? Don't they? Everybody wants a happy end. They wanna see the game on Saturday. They wanna be somebody's friend. What we need Solidarity, solidarity, oh, solidarity, Lord, solidarity, oh yes, solidarity, 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 solidarity. Solidarity, what we need. Solidarity, what we need. Solidarity, whoa. Solidarity, 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 solidarity.
They can't keep a good man down. Always keep a smile when they want me to frown. Keep the vibes and I stood my ground. They will never ever take my crown. Oh, Jah bless, I say no man curse. Things getting better when they thought it would be worse. Here comes the officers asking for a search. They found no weapon, just only a draw first. But I'm so solid as a rock, they just can't stop me now. Even when they set their traps, they just can't stop me now. People will say this and that, they just can't stop me now. Even when they set up roadblocks, they just can't stop me now. When they come with their evil thoughts, I just listen whenever they talk. I is the light into my dark. He cut and clear all my faults. They fight me without a cause, trying to make my life so hard. The King of Kings and the Lord of Lords, give it all reward. I'm so solid as a rock, they just can't stop me now. Even when they set their traps, they just can't stop me now. People will say this and that, they just can't stop me now. Even when they set up roadblocks, they just can't stop me now. So don't you mix me up in your dirty game. You're only trying to tarnish my name. You're only looking for the innocent to blame, when you're the ones who wish the guns down the lane. You only cause destruction and the pain, but the righteous believes in the rain. Love is all I got to give and I'm not to shine. Looking for the future, the sky I can't tame. Cause I'm so solid as a rock and they just can't stop me now. Even when they send their traps, they just can't stop me now. People will say this and that, they just can't stop me now. Even when they set up roadblocks, they just can't stop me now. So they can't keep a good man down. Always keep a smile when they want me to frown. Keep the vibes and I stood my ground. They will never ever take my crown. Who Jah bless, I say no man curse. Things getting better when they thought it would be worse. Here comes the officers asking for a search. They found no weapon, just only a draw first. Solid as a rock, they just can't stop me now.